Hey there, this is producer Andrew at Nuanez Now, here to tell you all about the new ESPN Montana app. Your new home for watching all live and archived episodes of Nuanez Now, as well as other exclusive content coming soon. You can download the ESPN Montana app now on all iPhone and Android devices. And remember, you can still watch every minute of Nuanez Now on SWX Montana, or tune in live at 1029ESPN.com. Nuanez Now, 4 to 6 p.m. every weekday on ESPN Missoula, SWX Montana, and the new ESPN Montana app.
It's time for Missoula Paddlehead Baseball on 102.9 ESPN Missoula. We'll have live play-by-play coverage of all the Paddlehead baseball games this season. Now, your Paddlehead pregame show.
Well, we had a couple of days off, but it's time to be back with you for some Paddleheads baseball here on ESPN Missoula 102.9 FM and GoPaddleheads.com. We're here for Game 1 here at Allegiance Field, Ogren Park, for Game 1 of a 3-game set featuring the visiting Billings Mustangs and your Missoula Paddleheads. Glad to have you along for the ride on what is a Wednesday evening. My name is Jeff Safford as the 7-3 Mustangs get set to face off with the 6-6 Missoula Paddleheads. Well, 2 days off for Missoula since we were with you last. Last time the Paddleheads were on the field was Sunday afternoon, wrapping up what was a 6-game slate opposite the Great Falls Voyagers. And, man, that game sure did make you feel like you could breathe a little bit easier with Missoula finally getting out of that hole they were in where they lost 4 consecutive games in that 6-game slate, dropping it overall 4 games to 2. Interestingly enough, Missoula winning the first game of that series, and then the game on Sunday in the series finale. Rafael Moncion, a solid start, picking up his first win of the season, 5 1/3 innings pitched. Almost said 5 2/3, but 5 1/3 innings pitched. Then we saw some good performances from the bullpen as well to take the Paddleheads home on a Sunday afternoon. The long ball was also a factor in that game, and we've seen the home run balls slowly start to get kind of back into the equation, so to speak. Was a little bit of a slow start to the season with the home run ball, but Missoula now sitting at 11 home runs as a team. But touching on how things kind of flip-flopped from where the season started to where we are now, Missoula, this is the second time facing off with this Billings club. Great start to the regular season, the first 3 games of the year in this ballpark. Paddleheads sweeping the Billings Mustangs, and we're at or just about at double digits in every game of that slate. One on opening night, scoring 9 runs, winning 9-3, then winning 11-9 the next night, and then game 3, 13-3 drubbing of these Mustangs. So the Paddleheads were feeling pretty good about themselves after those first 3 games. Then the injury bug kind of started to rear its ugly head. Had their struggles against the Great Falls Voyagers. They see the record drop to 6-6, but that win on Sunday, I think, was a great momentum boost for this Paddleheads club. Then on the other side, for the Billings Mustangs, after getting swept in that 3-game set, Mustangs haven't lost. They've had a couple of games called off or postponed due to rain. And interestingly enough, touched on the 2-day break for Missoula, the Mustangs haven't been out there for 3 games as they had their series finale opposite the Glacier Range Riders postponed due to rain. So they haven't played since Saturday. They were off, in essence, Sunday and then the 2 schedule off days as the Paddleheads had on Monday and Tuesday. This will be a home-and-home set of sorts, with the first 3 games this week taking place here in this ballpark in Missoula. And then for the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday of next week, the Paddleheads will see the series shift to Billings. It'll be the first 3-game set at Dealer Park here in the 2022 season. So we'll be seeing a lot of the Mustangs over the next 6 games. And if you're the Paddleheads, having already won 3 games against this club in this ballpark, you do have some confidence, but there's a number of players on this Billings side that really are swinging the bat well, and it's headlined by the middle third of their order. Tonight, Jalen Garcia, Gabe Wirtz, and Jacob Klein. All three of those players hitting the ball extremely well. You'd expect Garcia to be doing so, a returner from last season, the Pioneer League Rookie of the Year. But a couple of newcomers in Wirtz and Klein have really been swinging it well. Also throw in Mitch Piotnik, the number 2 hitter in that bunch, and it really has been a murderer's row for this Billings club. Wirtz, the league leader in homers, Jacob Klein, the league leader in batting average, and Mitch Piotnik also is second in the Pioneer League in batting average, first 10-12 games of the season. Umpires are coming on the field. We're just about ready to have our managers meeting. We're just a few minutes away from the first pitch of this ball game. Paddleheads and Mustangs on a Wednesday evening, 102.9 ESPN Radio and GoPaddleheads.com. So while the two managers, Jim Riggleman of the Mustangs and Michael Schlack of the Paddleheads, make their way to home plate for the managers meeting, let's go ahead and take a look at how these two teams will be lined up. Judging on where we are with the national anthem, we may give you one lineup before we go to break and may get you two before we go to break for the anthem. Either way, we'll get you the starting lineups. We'll start things off with the Mustangs. They're in their black uniforms tonight. White numbers on the front, red numbers on the back, trimmed in white. Their starting lineup looks like this. Cruz Taylor, player we didn't see in this series when they were here a couple of weeks ago. Cruz Taylor leading things off. He is in right field. Mitch Piotnik, a player with some affiliated experience who had a great series. Opening series of the season back in the late portions of May, and Piotnik's kept that bat rolling. In the first 12 games of the season, Mitch Piotnik bats second and is in left field. Jalen Garcia, returner from last year, one of the few returners on this Billings roster from 2021. Garcia bats third and is in center field. Gabe Wirtz has been fantastic with that power bat. As I mentioned, he cleans things up and is the designated hitter. Jacob Klein, league leader in batting average, bats fifth. He's at second base with Tristan Peterson, player who got a couple of starts in the opening series of the season at first. Back in May, back here again with Billings. Start here in game one. He bats sixth and is at first base. Another new player, Jordan Barth, player that did not appear and actually was signed by the Mustangs going into that run against Glacier last week. But Jordan Barth is in there at shortstop tonight, batting seventh, with Brian Pereira back behind the plate doing the catching. There is one interesting name newly acquired by the Billings Mustangs. Not in there tonight, but the second now catcher on the Mustangs roster is none other than Nico Pacheco, player that started the season right here with Missoula, was on the opening day roster, appeared in 4 games with the Paddleheads, was released after the game on Sunday. So Pacheco released, was re-signed by Billings. It'll be interesting to see if Pacheco suits up for the Mustangs at some point in this 3-game series, looking for some payback against his old club. But Pereira tonight getting the start for the Mustangs. He bats 8th with Christian Pena winding out the order for the Billings Mustangs tonight, with right-hander Kelvin Pilot getting the start on the mound for Billings, making his second appearance already in this ballpark. He was the opening day starter for the Mustangs, making start number 3 overall on the season. Kelvin Pilot, returner from last season as well, will be the starter opposite the Paddleheads on this Wednesday. On the other side for the Missoula Paddleheads, Kevin Watley once again leading things off. He's been up there the last half dozen games or so after batting in the 9-hole to start the season, the first 4 or 5 games. But Watley back out there in the leadoff spot at shortstop. Batting second will be McLean O'Connor. McLean O'Connor back off the inactive list. He suffered a hamstring injury on the last road trip at Centene Stadium. McLean O'Connor bats second and is at second base. Cam Thompson bats third. He is the third baseman with Lamar Sparks cleaning things up. He is the right fielder. Sparks has really been on a nice run his last 4 or 5 games. He's got a 5-game hitting streak. There we go. And has an average near 400 in that stretch. Average overall is over 400. So Sparks cleaning things up with Nick Gatewood batting fifth. He's the first baseman. Keaton Greenwald bats sixth. He is in center field with Bretton Davis, the rook, batting seventh, the catcher. Henderson Perez bats eighth, the DH, with Jared Akins winding it out. Got the national anthem just about started here at Allegiance Field. We'll step away. When we come back, we got baseball coming up on 102.9 ESPN.
Hockey and Lacrosse Wolf has a ton of new hockey gear arriving in July. Fresh releases from Bauer, CCM, Warrior, and more. But if you feel the need to find a deal, stop into Hockey and Lacrosse Wolf today to shop everything still on the shelves from last season in both hockey and lacrosse. And if you're a serious penny pincher, you can start planning for the end-of-season sales event, coinciding with the ice being taken out of Glacier Ice Rink. Hockey and Lacrosse Wolf, still open 7 days a week, serving up the best deals in hockey and lacrosse.
At Western Cider, it's all about great cider, good times, and community. As the official cider of the Paddleheads, Western Cider wants to get you to the game. Stop by Western Cider on a home game day, and you could win a free pair of tickets. Bring your Paddleheads enthusiasm to Western Cider on game day. Order a cider and be the first one to tell the bartender, "Go Paddleheads!" And a pair of tickets to that day's game are all yours. Western Cider, 501 North California Street. Open 4 to 8 Monday through Thursday and noon to 8 Friday through Saturday.
The pageantry, the tradition, the competition, the communal aspect. It's what we love about sports. But there's also a stark reality. Sports and money go hand in hand. At Nuanez Now, every other Tuesday, we are proud to present a business angle with Justin Engel, a segment about the overlay of business and sports.
I think as far as products ever created, NFL football is perhaps one of the best products ever created. On par with the iPhones. And its ability to kind of transcend every other competitor in the category. The scarcity of games, the fact that they own Sundays, and then they own that place on the calendar. It's sacred. It's become the religion of sports fans and the religion of the country in many ways.
Tune in every other Tuesday during the 5 o'clock hour to Nuanez Now to hear Justin Engel, a University of Montana business professor, talk with me, Colter Nuanez, about all of the ins and outs of sports and business. A Business Angle is proudly presented by Blackfoot Communications.
Hey, this is manager Michael Schlack, and you're listening to Missoula PaddleHeads Baseball on ESPN Missoula 102.9.
Starting lineups for the Paddleheads are just about ready to be introduced here at Allegiance Field, Ogren Park. Sammy B about ready to bring the boys onto the field for the top half of the first inning. Paddleheads and Mustangs about ready to do battle in game one of this three-game set. Looking back to that three-game series where the Paddleheads swept the Mustangs, really was a series where the Paddleheads used a lot of things that made them successful a season ago. Had some solid starting pitching. Domingo Pena, last season's leader of the pitching staff in terms of wins and strikeouts, had a good start in opening night, 9-3 victory for Missoula. Cam Thompson, fantastic in that three-game set opposite Billings. 7 hits and 13 at-bats. Then the bullpen also really, and you can point to this in the first 8-10 games of the season, and really for the most part all the way through. First couple of games of the year overall, first 12 games, seen the bullpen for Missoula really perform well overall. But in that first three-game set especially, really just shut things down. Will be interesting to see again if a late game scenario pops up where a game is close, where Missoula is leading, what direction they decide to go with Jason Newman still on the shelf with that foot injury he suffered last week opposite the Great Falls Voyagers. But speaking of injuries, just heard his name introduced and brought onto the field, but welcome back McLean O'Connor. Back out there at second base, opening day starter, was such a huge part of the Pioneer League championship team last season. And when talking to Michael Schlack about McLean O'Connor coming back, the way he said it, almost verbatim said, it's almost like getting a shot of coffee in the morning. Getting like a quadruple shot of espresso, just like, oh yeah, here we go. That's what we're looking for. And so O'Connor back out there. definitely a shot in the arm for this Paddlehead club. And the one thing that it did was it allowed the Paddleheads to work in numerous players, some of these rookie players that we've seen, Hannah, along with Boning as well, Brandon Boning, a couple of rookie players, middle infield players, guys that had never seen professional experience before. They had plenty of opportunities to get out there and get into the starting lineup, get used to what this level of professional baseball is like, and I'm sure they're better for it. And when they get an opportunity, when their number is called again, that they'll be ready for it. They're just about ready for the first pitch of this one. Cruz Taylor, Mitch Piotnik, and Jalen Garcia. 1, 2, 3 coming up for Billings here in the top half of the first inning. Couple of familiar names from here in Missoula in that opening series of the season in Piotnik and Garcia hitting 2 and 3 for Cruz Taylor. Relatively new player for this Mustangs club, has not appeared in this ballpark yet. He'll be facing the left-hander out of Campbell, California, getting the start tonight, his third start of the year, Jason Munch. Munch will have some good memories to look back on. His first start of the year was a start in that he's got the win on the mound. He pitched 5 1/3, struck out 6, gave up 3 runs and 9 hits. So Munch will look to get back to where he was on that night against Billings. It was the series finale of Friday night in this ballpark to open up the season. But in his last start against Great Falls, Munch only threw 2 innings before getting pulled in a loss to the Great Falls Voyagers. So he'll look to get back to what made him successful in that first start. When he's on, Munch, we've seen him be able to keep the ball down well, mix his pitches up well. We'll see a lot of ground balls and strikeouts when he's on. For Cruz Taylor, Mitch Piotnik, Jalen Garcia coming to the dish. We're just about ready for baseball on a Wednesday night. Beautiful evening for baseball in the Garden City. First pitch on the way. Fastball is up high for ball 1. A ball, no strikes the count, and we are underway. Checking my clock, almost right on time at 7:16. Umpires for tonight, Ray Bidwell behind the plate calling the balls and strikes. 1-0 pitch is on the outside corner, called strike 1. Even count now. So Ray Bidwell calling the balls and strikes. Rick Fratis and Nick Jenke are the 2 umpires out on the bases for tonight's game. A ball and a strike, the count just underway. Top 1. Cruz Taylor in the box. So far with Billings, 6 for 19, swinging it. There's a swing and a foul. Count now, a ball and 2 strikes. First batter of the game. Mentioned Cruz Taylor, 6 for 29. So far with the Mustangs, including a couple doubles, does have 2 homers on the year and 4 RBI. So a guy you have to be a little bit careful with in that leadoff spot in terms of home run power, especially thinking about that short porch in right field. 287 down the line. Munch comes over the top. Breaking ball misses up high. Evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Defensively, Missoula lined up like this. We'll start in the outfield. Jared Akins in left. Keaton Greenwald in center field. And Sparks in right. That's your outfield from left to right. The 2-2 pitch is about to be on its way for Munch. Here it is. This one, little jam shot, foul ground, third base side. Thompson going over the top of the mound, the bullpen mound, down the left field line. Couldn't come up with it. Good effort, though, from Thompson. He looks to be all right as well. He goes back towards his position at third base. Well, I guess there's the perfect segue. Here's the left side of the infield for you. Cam Thompson at third with Kevin Watley at short, occupying the left side of the infield with McLean O'Connor at second base, Nick Gatewood at first. On the right side with Benton Davis, the rook, doing the catching. Count still 2-2 on Cruz Taylor. Munch is ready for another delivery. This one swung on and missed. Pitch with some sink on it towards the outside part of the plate to the left-handed swing, and Taylor, nasty pitch there to pick up the first out. I mean, that thing just fell right off the table. Nasty movement. As Mitch Piotnik will now step in. Piotnik had a good series to start the year against Missoula, May 25th through the 28th. Left-handed batter once again facing Munch. The pitch on the way, cut on and missed. Fastball up above the belt. Makes the count 0-1. Piotnik 7 hits and 12 at-bats. That 3-game set, 4 of which were doubles. Was hitting the ball all over the yard when he was here in Missoula last, and that has continued for Piotnik. The 0-1. This one lined over the top of Gatewood's head, down the first base line. That's a fair ball. Piotnik trying to stretch it to a double, and he will make it easily. So Piotnik, a little liner off the end of the bat, gets it over Gatewood's head at first, and that is an extra base hit for Piotnik. That's his 5th double of the year already. Piotnik just keeps on swinging it well. That will bring Jalen Garcia into the box. Had a .485 overall batting average going into that at-bat, so that's going up after that double. Was second in the Pioneer League in batting average. But a strikeout to start things off. Now a man on at second base. 1 out, top 1. No score. Garcia, first pitch to him. Fastball right there on the inside for strike 1. Very solid start for Garcia in his second professional season. Rookie of the year in the Pioneer League last year. .415 start in his first 10 games or so. Billings has played 2 fewer games in Missoula due to weather issues. They've had a couple of rainouts, including on Sunday, as I mentioned in the open. So it's been a little while for Billings getting out there. And it's one of those, you don't know if that's going to be something that helps Billings or hurts them. 0-1 to Garcia. Peeking at second is Munch. Delivers. Swung on and missed. Off speed down below the knees. Makes the count 0-2. So Munch with that runner at second base, less than 2 outs, definitely a strikeout or unproductive out scenario. Garcia probably looking to poke it through the right side of the infield. There's quite a bit of real estate on that right side with O'Connor playing pretty close to second. See if he shifts back. Now does. In a more normal defensive positioning at second, the 0-2 from Munch. Fastball misses the outside. Makes the count a ball and 2 strikes. Little bit of a slow start for Garcia in the first series of the year, where he had 1 hit in the first 2 games, but finished the series 3 for 5. So a good game to end on, and Garcia has continued to swing the bat ever since that last game here in Missoula. 1-2, 1 out. Pitch to Garcia. Is a line drive left center field, moving over and letting it bounce is Akins. Stopping at third is Piotnik. Didn't get a very good jump on that liner to left. That's a base hit for Garcia. Put runners on at the corners. So that ball hit well by Garcia into left center, but Piotnik had to wait for just a split second to see if Akins in left field was going to be able to track that one down. He could not. He played it off a hop and left. So Piotnik stays put at third, doesn't try to test it to the plate. That keeps a run off the board for now. That'll now set it up for a very powerful hitter, Gabe Wirtz. Open stance from the right. First pitch to Wirtz is up high. Player with some professional experience coming in. Had good numbers in the Pecos League. Also played in the American Association a season ago with the travel team, the Apollos. What powers he had to start things off with the Mustangs. .359 average, which is solid. But the 6 home runs, that's really what jumps off the page. 1-0 pitch misses down below the knees, makes the count 2-0. With the 6 homers, Wirtz, the league and team leader, obviously team leader if he's the league leader, kind of goes without saying, but the league leader in home runs with 6. Also a team best 14 driven in. Has a chance for an RBI here with a man on at third, also at first with 1 out, top of the first inning. 2-0 pitch to Wirtz is swung on and missed. Pitch down below the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike. He's kind of got that power hitter's look. Big frame, open stance. Stance maybe just a hair like Adam LaRoche, if you're familiar, former big leaguer. He's got a little Adam LaRoche in him. 2-1 is inside. 3-ball, 1-strike count isn't quite as exaggerated as LaRoche was, where he had that kind of almost wind up in his swing. But how he's open and that sort of thing, a little familiar. But Wirtz is in the driver's seat now. Count 3-1 with 1 out. Munch in danger of loading the bases here. Got off to a good start, striking out Taylor. The 2 base runners have reached sense. The 3-1 pitch is fouled off to the right. This now becomes a huge pitch for Munch. Count full at 3-2. The runner at first will most likely be on the move here to try to stay out of a double play. It's Garcia at first, Piotnik at second. Piotnik doubled in this inning, was sent to third on a single from Garcia into left center field. Payoff coming from Munch, who delivers. This one fouled away again, off to the right. We'll see another 3-2 delivery. All 3 games of this 6-game slate will be 7 o'clock, or 3-game set, I should say. All 3 games of this 3-game set here in Missoula, all 7:05 first pitch times. Then little up and down when we get to Billings. We'll get to the schedule there over the weekend in just a minute. Ready for another payoff pitch. This one taken, strike 3 on the inside corner with a breaking ball. Froze him. Backdoor breaking ball. What a nice pitch that was to freeze a powerful Gabe Wirtz. That is a big bullet to dodge in this half inning to send a powerful Gabe Wirtz back to the dugout. Not out of the woods yet, though, as now the Pioneer League leader in batting average will step in, Jacob Klein. Had good success in this ballpark, did not play on opening night against Missoula, but did in the next 2 games. First pitch to Klein is a fastball in there for strike 1 on the outside to the right-handed batting Jacob Klein. Had 2 multi-hit games in the 2 games he appeared in this ballpark the opening week of the season. 5 for 9 in the 2 games and a .500 average in 9 games played. Just smoking hot. 1-1 pitch to Klein is a fastball, similar spot but off the plate. 2 outs, top 1. Munch trying to keep the Mustangs off the board. Here in the top half of the first inning, a couple of hits, but no runs to this point in a scoreless ball game. Calvin Pilot waiting to take the hill for the bottom half of this inning for Billings. 2-1 for Munch on the way. This one grounded left side, through the left side, past a dive of a couple of guys. Watley had a shot, so did Thompson. That is a clutch base knock for Klein with 2 outs to drive in a run. Jacob Klein picked up his 10th RBI with that swing as well, and the Mustangs have a 1-0 advantage here in the top of the first inning, as Tristan Peterson will now jump into the box. Tristan Peterson has been in there most nights for Billings, but he has been in a funk at the plate. First pitch from Munch in this at-bat is taken just outside for ball 1. Fastball didn't miss by much. Had a rough go of it in 3 games against Missoula. Just 1 hit in the 3-game set. Only has 3 overall this season in 28 at-bats. 1-0 delivery is popped up foul ground right side. Evens up the count at a ball and a strike. But when you're in a funk, sometimes one big swing to knock in a couple of runs can get you going. He's got an opportunity to do that here with Klein and Garcia still on the bases with 2 outs. A run in for the Mustangs. They've collected 3 hits in the top half of this first inning, and they lead 1-0. Munch set near the chest. Now we'll see Peterson step out of the box. It looks like Davis is going to go out to have a word with Munch as well. So Brenton Davis out to have a quick word with Munch, and now he'll go back behind his spot at home plate. So a ball and 1 strike is the count to Tristan Peterson, the number 6 hitter in the order. Jordan Barth rookie shortstop, 7th hitter in the order, would hit next for Billings if Peterson can get himself aboard. The ball and a strike the count with 1 out. Munch comes to the plate. Taking off to third is Garcia. He'll have to go back as this ball is fouled off. A ball and 2 strikes the count, and if I'm not mistaken, it looks like Garcia may have mistimed a slide a bit at first base. Not inconsequential with the ball hit out of play. Maybe I just saw that incorrectly, but it looks like Garcia may have slid a little bit too early. Be something out of Major League if you've ever seen that movie. A ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs now to Peterson. Right-handed batter. Munch trying to set down the side with just the 1 run scoring this inning. Munch looks ready, kicks and deals. The 1-2 fastball is just outside and a little bit above the belt. Not a bad spot in a 1-2 count, hoping Peterson would chase that heater that was just off the plate away. Still has a couple of pitches to play with here, and now a 2-2 count with 2 outs. Target looks to be outside from Davis. The pitch is just outside. That one didn't miss by much. You could tell Munch wanted that one by his reaction getting the ball back from Davis. Kind of grabbed at it a little bit. Another full count pitch coming. 3-2 with 2 away. Can Munch win this battle? Or will the Mustangs continue on? Runners do not go, and this one is taken off the plate for ball 4. So Munch has now put the bases loaded in this situation, and it'll come down to Jordan Barth. Mentioned Jordan Barth, first season with the Mustangs, first year in professional baseball. Played his college ball at Augustana University. That's in South Dakota. Had very strong numbers at the college level. First pitch on the way is popped up. Left side, shallow right field, actually. Drifting towards the line is McLean O'Connor. He's underneath it. He's got it. In very shallow right field, that records out number 3. So it was a little bit of an adventure here in the top of the first for Munch, but it's just the 1 run on the board for the Mustangs, who leave them loaded in the top of the first inning. 1-0 Billings, though, as we head to the bottom half of the first. Paddleheads coming up for the first time on 102.9 ESPN Radio.
You know, winding up injured because of someone else's negligence and carelessness is pretty scary. You have a lot of questions. You're overwhelmed and wonder if you'll ever get back to normal. Well, the advocates will answer all your questions, and they'll walk you through each step of the case so you can just focus on getting better. If you're not in the wrong, you shouldn't have to come up with a pile of money for your attorney either. So call the advocates, because they won't charge you a dime until a fair settlement is recovered. That's right. You don't pay until they win your case. So call today, 406-640-4444.
Hi, it's Coral from The Stone, inviting you to try your luck on the new Sports Bet Montana machine in the Emerald Casino. Come in and bet on anything from baseball to tennis. It's easy and fun. While you're there, sign up for our rewarding Players Club. We have exciting events happening every day for our valued players, and our refreshingly cold complimentary beverages are always served with a smile. Only at the Emerald Casino, next door to The Stone, just a stone's throw away on North Reserve.
You follow their accomplishments on Nuanez Now. Watch them dominate fields, courts, and tracks of the Treasure State. Now catch up with Montana's best high school athletes as they prepare to continue their careers in college. Join me, Colter Nuanez, for the Senior Spotlight segment this summer on Nuanez Now. We will bring you exclusive interviews with Montana's high school stars as they look back on their prep triumphs and give updates on their plans and goals in college. The Senior Spotlight, twice a week on Nuanez Now, proudly presented by Blaine McElmurray and McElmurray Homes.
Hey, son, how you feel?
I'm fine, Pop.
What's on your mind?
I can't explain it. Navigating without a compass, eyes waiting, started to wonder. Metamorphosis, the loss of who you thought you was.
When your kid can't find the language, help them find the lyrics. Listen to the Sound It Out album and get tips and tools to start a conversation at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
ESPN Radio for Western Montana, KKVU HD3 Stevensville, and 102.9 FM on K275BS Missoula. Away from your radio? Stream Paddlehead Baseball live on 1029ESPN.com. Now back to the ballpark.
Bottom half of the first inning about to begin here in Missoula. The Mustangs, the Billings Mustangs, have a 1-0 advantage over the Paddleheads as we enter the home half of the first. Will be Kevin Watley leading things off, followed by McLean O'Connor and Cam Thompson. 1, 2, 3. Going up against California native Calvin Pilot. Calvin Pilot has appeared quite a bit in the last 2 seasons against Missoula. Pilot, Roseville, California native, pretty tall, lanky guy, 6'6", as he stands on the hill, but only 195 pounds. First pitch is cut on and foul tipped at the plate by Watley. 0-1 the count. And Calvin Pilot, mentioned he's appeared against the Paddleheads a number of times, and he's not had very much success. Calvin Pilot, this is being his 5th start lifetime against Missoula, going back to last season as well. But a 9-even ERA against Missoula. 0-1 delivery, off speed, this one down below the knees. And Calvin Pilot was the losing pitcher in his first start against the Paddleheads as well on opening night. 4 1/3 innings pitched, 7 hits, 5 runs, 5 Ks for the right-hander. 1-1 pitch to Watley, misses upstairs. And when Pilot is on, you'll see a pretty high-velocity fastball, top out around 91, 92 miles an hour. Gets a lot of strikeouts with it. Also will mix in a pretty good changeup and a breaking ball. It also can get a little bit of a wild hair up his nose at times. 2-1 pitch is up and in to make the count 3-1. Kevin Watley in the box, good hitters count. Average has been hanging around right around 300 for most of the year. 293 coming into this ball game. 3-1 the count to Watley. The pitch is swung on and fouled again. Full count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. To mention O'Connor to follow, and then Cam Thompson. A little bit of a different look for the hairdo for O'Connor. They see him standing in the on-deck circle. Watley trying to reach base here. We'll take a look at the defense for Billings in just a second. The payoff is grounded foul, first base side. See another 3-2 offering. Start in the outfield with Billings. Mitch Piotnik in left field. Jalen Garcia in center with Taylor in right. That's your outfield from left to right. Christian Pena, third baseman. Barth at short, occupying the left side. Count full on Watley as Pilot looks ready to deliver another 3-2 offering. Here it comes. This one grounded foul again, first base side. So Watley putting up a little bit of a battle. First batter at the bottom of the first inning. Jacob Klein, second baseman, with Peterson at first. Pereira behind the plate doing the catching. That's the defense for the Mustangs. We'll see another 3-2 pitch. This one lined again, foul, first base side. That one closer to being fair, landed just to the right of the first base bag. Started to say left, but corrected myself. The other right. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Watley. So seeing quite a few pitches right out of the chute. Watley making Calvin Pilot work. First batter he faces. Mustangs do have the lead 1-0. 3 hits in the first inning and a run. Another payoff pitch. Grounded, first base side. Fair ball right to the glove of Peterson. Has it on the third hop. He takes it to the bag himself for out number 1. So a good battle put up by Watley here in the home half of the first. In the end, won by Calvin Pilot. Now approaching the plate will be McLean O'Connor. Welcome back, McLean O'Connor. Good to see him back out there for Missoula. He's out there in each of the first 3 games of the year for the Paddleheads. 3 for 11 his first 3 games against this Billings club. First pitch to O'Connor is up and outside. but seemed to be getting the bat going. His first game on the road at Centene Stadium against the Voyagers. Had a multi-hit game going. The 1-0 delivery to O'Connor is taken below the knees. Ball 2, 2-0 now the count to the Pioche, Nevada native, McLean O'Connor. But in the 6th inning of that first game at Centene Stadium, first road trip of the year, rounding second base, going into second for a double, came up lame, pulling a hamstring, as O'Connor takes another one out of the zone from Pilot. Count now 3-0 to McLean O'Connor, with Cam Thompson waiting next in a 1-0 game. But O'Connor suffered that injury, and interestingly enough, Anders Green, another utility infielder, injured his hamstring the very next day. 3-0 pitch is swung on and bounced foul towards Jeff Lyle, who stands near the third base coach's box. I guess you could say pretty close. He's quite a ways from it, standing up the line. The count now 3-1, and once again, we're seeing it more and more. It's interesting how that's been a trend. Seeing more and more players swinging at 3-0 pitches. The 3-1 now is bounced foul once again right by Jeff Lyle. As it bounces off that protecting wall near the bullpen, comes onto the field. That'll be work for someone out of the pen. See a sweatshirt on. I think that's Bear that just got that ball from in the bullpen area. 3-2 the count. Guess you better clarify. There is a relief pitcher with the last name Bear. We are in Grizzly country after all here in the Missoula area. Payoff to O'Connor, bounced slowly foul. Say what you want about the first couple batters of the game. The Paddleheads are getting their money's worth. Couple of lengthy at-bats for McLean O'Connor and Kevin Watley. Watley saw 11 pitches. O'Connor nearing double digits in this at-bat as well. 3-2, 1 out, base is empty. Started in a 3-0. The pitch from a Pilot. It's a ball hit well, left center field. On the move is Garcia. He's not going to get it, as this one's going to roll all the way to the wall. Stopping at second is O'Connor, slowly sauntering into second with a double. That was a rocket off the bat of McLean O'Connor into the gap in left center field. That'll set it up now for McLean O'Connor. Wow, what a shot into left center. That's one way to announce that you're coming off the inactive list. That thing had some fire coming off the back of it. Would have liked to have seen the exit velo on that one. Wow. As Cam Thompson will step in with a man on at second base, 1 out. Paddleheads already an opportunity to try to get that run back they lost in the top half of the first. Cam Thompson, 327 average thus far. And he swings and hits one on a line right to Klein. The second baseman throws back to second. Safe at second is O'Connor. Almost a double play to get Billings out of the inning. That was hit on the screws by Thompson in the box, but right to the second baseman, Jacob Klein, was able to reach up, make the catch, threw back to second base there, almost able to double off O'Connor, slid in head first to get back in there to beat the play. And with 2 outs, that'll leave it for Lamar Sparks. Good guy to have up in this type of a situation. First base is open. Pilot delivers off speed, check swing. Pilot gets Sparks to go around. On an appeal to first base. Count now 0-1. Sparks was sitting on a fastball. Must have been on that first pitch. Pilot gave him the changeup off the plate away. Tried to check his swing, but Rick Freitas rung him up. 0-1. Still at second is O'Connor. Pitch on the ways, up and in, on the hands of Sparks. Evens up the count at a ball and 1 strikes. And Sparks has been swinging a good bat. It's recorded a hit in his last 5 games. Averaged near 500 in that stretch, 484. Also has a team best, 409 batting average for Missoula. Also leads the team in RBIs with 13. 1-1 pitch. Check swing, and this one called a strike on the outside. Went back to that breaking ball. Below parts of the zone, Sparks kept his bat back. Did not go after that pitch as he did the first one of this at-bat, but that one was called a strike at the plate by Raymond Bidwell. Sparks will now have to battle back in a 1-2 count. Nick Gatewood, number 5 batter in the order, would be next. The 1-2 is hit high in the air, down the right field line. This one's got some hook to it, going well into the corner, and this one's foul. Taylor gave that one a look, was right up against the protective wall in foul territory to the right of the line, and looked like for a second that Taylor was going to have an opportunity to track that ball down, but just barely running out of real estate. Good hustle. Sparks lives to see another pitch, who will now jump back into the box. Count still, a ball and 2 strikes on Lamar Sparks. 1-0 game. Billings trying to keep the lead in this inning. The 1-2. Fouled away again, off to the right. This one's going to drift over the top of the Blackfoot party deck. Night for educators tonight. Teacher Appreciation Night. First 400 teachers in attendance. Got some discounted tickets. There'll also be special recognition during the game. Tomorrow, Thirsty Thursday, as it is every Thursday here at Allegiance Field, Ogren Park. $3 domestic drafts and $4 craft beers. If you like beer, Friday's the night to come out to the Yard, series finale. A brew fest taking place during the game. 1-2, pitch to Sparks. This one, a fastball, misses the outside. Evens up the count at 2. Pretty close pitch, but we've seen this first inning, at least so far, laterally, the zone doesn't have much leeway from Ray Bidwell. We've seen a number of pitches from both Munch and Pilot that look to be pretty close to the corner that have not gotten the call to this point. 2-2. This one, a line shot. Klein's got it, jumping up, taking a hit away from Sparks. 2 line drives, but Jacob Klein had Kelvin Pilot's back in that first inning, and the Paddleheads are kept off the board. A double in this half inning from McLean O'Connor, and 2 line shots from Thompson and Sparks, but both of them hit into the defense, and Missoula is kept off the board. Top of the second coming up. Billings leads by 1 on 102.9 ESPN and GoPaddleheads.com.
There is a reason customers go back again and again to DeMorris Buick GMC Mercedes, Missoula's most trusted dealership and proud sponsor of Missoula Paddleheads baseball. DeMorris high-end service shop is unmatched in diagnostics, diesel maintenance, and repair, serving generations of satisfied customers. DeMorris Buick GMC Mercedes is your area Sprinter van headquarters for the Montana outdoor lifestyle. Check out DeMorris.com for new and pre-owned inventory, or stop by 3115 West Broadway.
The Kiwanis Club of Missoula is excited to share with our community that the annual Kiwanis Pancake Breakfast fundraiser is back. With safety in mind, they will host the Pancake Breakfast outside Saturday, June 11th at the Paddleheads Stadium from 8:30 to 12:30. In honor of their 101st anniversary as a Kiwanis Club serving Missoula, the community is invited to join in on the annual Pancake Breakfast, fun for free. It's the Kiwanis Club Pancake Breakfast, Saturday, June 11th at Ogren Park.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is live play-by-play on 102.9 ESPN Missoula, your home of the Missoula Paddleheads.
The Billings Mustangs will bring the bottom third of their order to the plate as we begin action here in the top of the second inning in what is a 1-0 contest between the Billings Mustangs and Missoula Paddleheads. The road team Mustangs have the advantage after 1 inning of play. even though Missoula didn't get on the board in that first inning, I would imagine the Paddleheads can't feel too bad. But what they did offensively, McLean O'Connor hitting a shot into left center and seeing Cam Thompson and Lamar Sparks come up right after that, they also hit the ball right on the screws, just right into the defense. That's baseball sometimes. Brian Pereira will lead things off against Munch, a lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch is up and in, and it hits Pereira. Believe it did. Pereira acted like that's what happened initially. But Ray Bidwell says no. So it's 1-0. It sure looks like it struck something as it came up and into Pereira. But a ball, 1-0 the count. Pitch on the way. Fastball below the knees makes the count 2 balls and no strikes. Good start to that first inning for Munch on the hill. Then ran into some trouble. Then got a double and a walk from Piotnik and Garcia. 2-0 pitch is a line shot to right field. Coming in and sliding to make the catch, though, is Sparks in right. Nicely done. Lamar Sparks made it look easy in that sinking top spin liner to right field. Record out number 1. So Pereira now retired, and I misspoke. I said bottom third of the order, 8, 9, 1 spots. Coming up with Pereira being the number 8 hitter. Now the number 9 guy, Christian Pena, into the box. But Christian Pena fouls off the first pitch he sees from Munch. Count 0-1. That was, despite that being an out recorded out in the outfield, could tell when Munch got the ball back that he was not happy. He felt that he didn't execute the pitch, kind of grabbed the ball frustratingly, kind of threw it into his glove. The 0-1 is a high chopper to the left side, fielding it on one hop as Thompson throws on to first just in time to get Pena. That was pretty close. Pena was sniffing a hit that time, was about a half step late. And that's 2 quick outs here in the top of the second. Nicely done by Thompson at third as well, not panicking on that play. So many times, those high choppers to the left side, you'll see an infielder panic a bit, go a bit too quick, double clutch on a throw, maybe fire it up the line. Not that time. Thompson even waited for that second hop to throw across, as Cruz Taylor will step in. Second time up for Taylor. He takes a breaking ball for a strike on the outside portion. Good pitch, a slider from Munch to start this out 0-1. So Cruz Taylor struck out swinging to lead off the ball game, 1 of 2 Ks in that first inning for Munch. 0-1 count. Another lefty-lefty matchup. Munch coming home. Fastball is low. Even count now at a ball and 1 strike. 2 outs, top second, bases empty. 3 hits for the Mustangs all came in the last inning. 1 hit for Missoula and 1 run advantage on the scoreboard for Billings. 1-0. Munch looking for a 1-2-3. Would be a nice bounce-back inning. The 1-1 delivery on the way. Taken outside and low. Breaking ball trying to get Taylor to chase off the plate away. Wasn't biting. Just like probably the trout right now if you're trying to go out and fish out on the Clark Fork. Good luck with how high that water is. Looks more like something out of Noah's Ark. Thing's so high. 2-1 pitch. Fastball low for ball 3. 3 ball, 1 strike count. Pretty close pitch to Taylor. Didn't get the call. This is a big batter with those hot hitters coming up next. That 2 through 5 section of the order. Seemingly every hitter swinging a good bat. The 3-1 is hit pretty well. Right center field. Racing back is Sparks. He looks up. This ball is gone. A rocket home run into right center field for Cruz Taylor. Impressive swing of the bat there. And the Mustangs will very loudly announce themselves to the plate in this half inning. A solo home run makes the score 2-0. Right when you think you're going to see a quick 1-2-3, Cruz Taylor takes on one of the deepest parts in the ballpark in right center field and clears that on a line. Impressive swing there. Here's Mitch Piotnik. First pitch on the way. Fastball. Doesn't get the call on the outside. 1-0. That's one thing we're seeing tonight. That pitch on the corner is not going to be there. Mitch Piotnik hit a two-bagger his last time. 1-0 delivery is outside again. Makes the count 2-0. That's something we're seeing from Munch in this first inning that's been getting him in trouble at times, is falling behind hitters. It's always tough to pitch from behind. Behind Piotnik here, 2-0. Pitch. This one popped foul. Straight back just about. Maybe a shade to the left. 2-1 now to Piotnik. Doubled. As I mentioned, his first at bat, 4 hits for the Mustangs. Second inning in a row. Billings has jumped on the board. For Cruz Taylor, that was his 3rd homer of the season. 2-1 pitch. Not close. Misses off the plate away to make the count 3-1. If Piotnik gets on, Jalen Garcia would get a shot with 2 outs. And so far, both of the runs scored by Billings tonight have come with 2 outs. 3-1 to Piotnik. The pitch from Munch. Swing and a miss. Fastball. Belt high or maybe a hair bit above it. Either way, looks like Piotnik just chased ball 4. Now we'll have to deal with a 3-2 count with 2 outs. Bases are empty. Piotnik trying to get his team back into the dugout with no more damage done. Target inside from Davis. The payoff. Swing and a miss. Challenge fastball. Blew it right by him for strike 3. That does bring this inning to an end, but not before leadoff man Cruz Taylor launches a home run to right center field. An impressive swing of the bat into right center gives Billings a 2-0 advantage as we head to the home half of the second on 102.9 ESPN.
Rocky Mountain Truck and Trailer Equipment is a local, family-owned business and proud sponsor of Missoula PaddleHeads baseball. Rocky Mountain Truck and Trailer carries a wide variety of truck and trailer accessories, gooseneck and dump equipment. Anytime you want to maximize your flatbed, have hauling needs, require specialized fabrication, or need trailer repair, get the job done right. For professional advice, go to the experts at Rocky Mountain Truck and Trailer Equipment, 5680 Expressway in Missoula, or check out their inventory at www.rmtte.com.
Tune in to Nuanez Now every Friday to catch up with Carolyn to get a little bit of a different view on sports.
So then he got hurt because his coach and fellow players kind of made a couple comments because he missed important shots. And
then he had a little, he felt bad. It was sad.
And so now he's getting traded. And I just think you're just trading 2 babies for each other, and you're just going to have the same amount of problems.
Catch the chick who doesn't know sports on Fridays on Nuanez Now on ESPN Missoula.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
This is Missoula Paddlehead Baseball on 102.9 ESPN Radio.
Home half of the second coming up, it'll be Nick Gatewood getting things started in this half inning opposite Kelvin Pilot and the Mustangs, who have a 2-run lead, 2-0 score early going. First pitch from Pilot, a breaking ball, called strike 1, a curveball. 0-1 the count. Kind of a show-me pitch there early in the count. Don't see that too often from Pilot. The 0-1 on the way is swung on and maybe fouled at the plate. It looks like that's what it was. Pitch on the inside. Either way, a strike to Gatewood, who quickly falls behind 0-2. Gatewood, average hovering around 300, 308. It's been a little up and down first 12 games of the year. Gatewood will go for 3-4 game stretch, swing well. 0-2 pitch is in the dirt. blocked by Pereira to make the count a ball and 2 strikes. Gatewood, we've seen him have 3 or 4 game stretches where he's recorded hits. We've seen him go on stretches. He's had 3 for 17. 1 point against Great Falls last week. Greenwald to follow. 1-2 pitches. A ball hit down the right field line. Coming in is Taylor on the move, and he's going to have to play it on a hop. Fair ball, or no. He did make the catch on the move near the foul line. Thought I saw it drop in front of Cruz Taylor, but he was able to make the catch on the move. Nicely done to record out number 1. Was a fair ball going down the right field line. That's F9 in your scorebook as Gatewood is down for out number 1 as Keaton Greenwald will now step in. 5, 6, 7 spots in the order in the process of coming to the dish in this half inning. Greenwald takes the first pitch, a breaking ball again for strike 1. So we're seeing Kelvin Pilot sneak over that curveball. First pitch of that bat the last 2 times up. Saw him get hard 3 times in that first inning. No runs on the board for Missoula. A double and then twice hitting right into the defense at second. The 0-1 to Greenwald. Another curveball, this one down low. Getting away from Pereira, but nobody on base, so that inconsequential. A ball and a strike to count. 1 out, bottom 2, 2-0 lead for Billings. Night started mostly clear, but now we're seeing some high clouds kind of move into the area. Not a breath of breeze in this ballpark tonight. 1-1 pitch is another breaking ball down and off the plate. So 3 pitches, 3 curveballs, 2 of them out of the zone, count 2-1. So Pilot changing up his approach here in this half inning. We've seen mainly fastballs in the first, trying to throw the paddleheads off. The 2-1 is grounded left side right to the glove of Barth. Throws across the diamond in time to Peterson for out number 2. Shortstop Barth, 6-3 put out. And just like the top half of this inning, Kelvin Pilot able to get 2 quick outs to start this frame. Saw Jason Munch get 2 outs to Pereira and Pena before the solo home run from Cruz Taylor in the top half of this second. That will send Brenton Davis into the box. Brenton Davis, one of those newly acquired players that we touched on in the open, came to Missoula. While those players headed to the inactive list, first pitch to Brenton Taylor misses outside. The first couple games he's been here with the Paddleheads, he seemingly has found a home. He's starting in his 3rd game since signing with Missoula last week. 1-0 delivery to Davis. Fastball does find the upper part of the zone. Even count now, a ball and 1 strike with 2 outs and the base is empty. If Davis can get aboard, the other catcher on the Paddleheads roster, who is DHing tonight, Henderson Perez, would bat, the number 8 hitter in the order. 1-1 from Pilot is a fastball that finds the outside. Makes the count a ball and 2 strikes. 1-2, Kelvin Pilot looking for a quick 1-2-3. Bottom half of the second, get that shutdown inning after getting a little bit more support in the top half of the frame, with Billings leading 2-0. 1-2 the count to Brenton Davis. The pitch is lined but foul, first base side. Breaking ball that hung up there that time from Kelvin Pilot in a 2-strike count. That surely was not the pitch he was looking to make. That looks like a curveball that just hung up there at the belt. Davis couldn't quite straighten it out enough, though, to keep it fair on the first base side. We'll see another 1-2 pitch. Pereira looking for this one to be elevated. It is, but too much. Easy take for Davis. You could tell right before that pitch was thrown that Pereira started motioning up like, hey, throw it up here. He didn't want to give it away too much to Davis to do that too early, maybe tip him off. But that pitch was well too high. The 2-2 offering. Fastball, strike 3 on the outside corner. Gets the call. Something that hasn't happened all that many times pitch is on the corner, but Kelvin Pilot does get one here. Pick up his first strikeout, and it is a 1-2-3 second inning. Headed to the top of the third. Score 2-0 Billings. Back after this.
New to Missoula, your home improvement company offers full-service remodeling of windows, doors, bathtubs, walk-in tubs, and showers. Customize your home with quality craftsmanship to create the home of your dreams. Before you start your project, visit the showroom, discover top-performing brands, and the newest innovations. Your home improvement company is open and hiring. Get the best pay and benefits you deserve by providing world-class products and outstanding service. Your home improvement company, now open and hiring in the Southgate Mall next to Shields.
Last week on the ESPN Roundtable, a fun-filled NFL conversation between Colter Nuanez and Regine Seabrook.
Who are your number one overall pick candidates for fantasy football?
I'll be honest, I usually go running backs first because there aren't that many that are going to be that good, that have the duality of running and being a good pass catcher at the same time. Guys like him, the Austin Ecklers of the world, you got to snatch them early.
Tune in to the ESPN Roundtable every Wednesday in the 5 o'clock hour on Nuanez Now. Brought to you by Paradise Falls.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Back to live local play-by-play on 102.9 ESPN Missoula.
First game of a 3-game set here in Missoula. Mustangs lead it 2-0. The series finale on Friday night will feature a very fun night here at the Yard to wrap up this quick 3-game homestand. A baseball brew fest will be taking place here at the Yard. 15 local Montana breweries will be pouring beer here on the concourse around the ballpark. They'll start pouring beer about an hour and a half before first pitch at 5:30, and they'll go all the way through the 7th inning of the ball game. There'll be 30 beers for you to try, so plenty of variety, and you'll get to check out some baseball as the Mustangs will be facing off with the Missoula PaddleHeads to wrap up this 3-game set. So come on out for the Brew Fest this Friday, 7:05 first pitch. Get your tickets, gopaddleheads.com. Jalen Garcia will get things started for Billings. Part of their order against Munch. First pitch on the way. Swing and a foul, I believe, at the plate. Davis looked a bit shaken up after that foul at the plate. Jalen Garcia, Gabe Wirtz, and Jacob Klein do up this half inning. 3-4-5. Part of the order. Spot that got off to a pretty good start in the first inning, looking at hitters through 2 through 5. 4 of those 5 hitters reached with Piotnik, Garcia, Wirtz, and Klein. 2 singles and a double in that stretch. Garcia had one of the 2 singles in the first inning. He's 1 for 1. 0-1 count here as Munch comes over the top and delivers. This one grounded slowly to Thompson. Left side has it cleanly, throws across in time for out number 1. So Thompson making that one look relatively routine. It was a slow roller on the left side. And that is out number 1. When you're facing a tough part of the order like this, makes it even more important to try to keep that leadoff man off the bases. So Garcia retired. He's now 1 for 2 as Gabe Wirtz will now step in. Wirtz struck out looking against Munch in the first inning. 0-1 delivery on the way to him is a called strike at the belt. Makes the count 0-1. Wirtz thought it was off the plate away, talking with the umpire after the pitch. Count 0-1. Strikeout, 1 of 3 Ks for Munch so far on the mound. The 0-1 delivery is swung on and missed. Breaking ball down below the knees makes the count 0-2. But Wirtz, just that classic power swing, that big sweeping swing. 0-2 with 1 out. Mark Reynolds, a former Osprey, another guy that you could compare the swing to. The 0-2 pitch, swung on and fouled. Was an all-star in the around 2010, 2011 while with the Diamondbacks. Had a couple 30-plus home run seasons in the big leagues. Played with the Osprey back in 2010. The 0-2 to Wirtz on its way. This one grounded left side foul. Thompson gave it a look, but it was by him up the line. 2 runs on 4 hits for Billings. 1 hit in the first inning, a quiet second. 1-2-3. Paddleheads went down against Kelvin Pilot. Much more in control in that inning. A lot of loud contact in the first for Missoula. 0-2. Coming over the top is Munch. Here's the pitch. Check swing. Did he go around? They'll peel to first, no. As Wirtz let that one go by for ball 1. Fastball above the belt. Smart pitch from Munch. So we saw a high fastball called a strike in this at-bat. So in an 0-2 count, elevate it just a little bit. See if Wirtz will go biting for it. The 1-2. Fastball misses the outside by quite a bit to even up the count. Easy take that time for Wirtz, who is now in an even 2-2 count. Take a peek around the Pioneer when we have a second, see what's going on around the league. Idaho Falls Chuckers on the road, facing off with the Vibes. The 2-2 fouled off to the right. Other Northern Division action sees the Range Riders taking on the Great Falls Voyagers. Southern Division, Ogden Raptors hosting the Northern Colorado Owls, their former Pioneer League rival when they were right next to each other. And then the Boise Hawks and the Grand Junction Rockies. 2-2 pitch, popped up, first base side. This one will drift out of play over the seating section on the first base side. Actually right on top of the concession stand. Was trying to find that one, where it went. And all of a sudden I heard the clunk going right over the top of the concession area. The concession stand there for one of the concession areas is messing with me tonight. The really great smells. Another 2-2 to Wirtz is a ball hit down the left field line. This one hooking into the corner. This one's off the wall. Wirtz is actually going to stop at first. Not oftentimes you'll see a runner stop at first on a ball hit to the line. But Wirtz does stop there. That's a single for Gabe Wirtz with 1 out. Hit to a spot where you typically see extra bases, but Jared Akins was able to get to that ball pretty quickly. Was able to get it into the infield quickly as well. Throw it right to the bag at second. So Wirtz maybe was smart to stay put. Maybe it would have gotten gunned down by Akins at second if he tried to stretch it. Now brings Jacob Klein into the box. Klein got the Mustangs on the board in the first inning. First pitch to Klein. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. Makes the count 0-1. Klein an RBI single through the left side of the infield past a dive of past Thompson and Watley. O'Connor at second base in tonight's game. Playing just to the right of the bag. Going to be tough to double off Klein, who does have good speed. Runner at first is Wirtz. The pitch on the way is low. Wirtz trying to take off to second. Throw down by Davis is in time. They got him. Wirtz took a gamble. It didn't work. And that 1-out single is wiped off the board. 2 down in the inning. We saw from Wirtz, his speed evidently is not his strong suit. Hit that ball to the line and left. Surprised to see him take a gamble, try to get himself into scoring position. The ball didn't get very far away from Davis. Bounced just a bit in front of him at home plate. But he just trusted his instinct, took off on first movement, got burned. 2-1 pitch is way outside, decline. Count now 3 balls and a strike. Fastball was well off the plate. So Munch gets a break from the defense. Now 2 outs in the inning. Tristan Peterson would hit next if Klein can reach. The pitch is cut on and missed. On the inside portion of the plate, strike 2. That evens the count at 2. 2-ball, 2-strike count, 2-0 lead but the base is now empty with Wirtz getting thrown out. The 2-2 to Jacob Klein is on its way. This one lifted center field. Pretty well hit. Going back is Greenwald, nearing the wall, reaching up, and did he hold on to it? Yes, he did, in dead center field, going into the wall. Or no, he didn't hang on to it. That's a home run for Jacob Klein. Looked like it was hung on to by Greenwald at first. I thought I saw the umpire call for an out at third base, but that was not the case. Keaton Greenwald could not hang on to the ball in dead center field. So that's a home run for Jacob Klein. Wow, that was close. Either way, the Mustangs on the right end of that one. Solo shot here in the top of the third, second home run of the game, and it's 3-0. Ball just kept on carrying to dead center field. Here's Tristan Peterson, who takes down low. Awfully close at the wall. Could have been an instance where you saw the ball go off the glove of Greenwald and over the wall in center. 1-0 pitch is popped up down the right field line. Going to be a tough play. Going out is O'Connor. Coming in is Sparks. It's Sparks making the catch near the foul line in shallow right field to end this half inning. But the Mustangs, once again with 2 outs. All 3 runs they've put on the board have come with 2 outs. 2 via the long ball, 1 for Cruz Taylor, and now 1 for Jacob Klein, his 5th of the season. A solo home run into almost dead center field. Score now 3-0 as we head to the bottom half of the third inning on 102.9 ESPN.
Backed by popular demand, the All Nations Health Center and the Missoula PaddleHeads are hosting the Indigenous Heritage Celebration June 16th through the 18th at Ogren Park, Allegiance Field in Missoula. On June 16th, enjoy a grand entry, art vendors, and community partners as the PaddleHeads take on the Great Falls Voyagers. On June 17th, come see a talent showcase featuring Chance Rush, Milo Smith, Tia Wood, and hosted by Foreshadow. June 18th, enjoy a 5K fun run and walk suitable for all ages right along the picturesque Clark Fork River. Come celebrate all of Montana's indigenous peoples at the Missoula PaddleHeads Stadium. The Indigenous Heritage Celebration is presented by All Nations Health Center, the Missoula PaddleHeads, and the Missoula Broadcasting Company. For more information, visit online at www.allnations.health or call 406-829-9515 today.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
We now return to Paddlehead Play-by-Play on ESPN Radio.
So the Mustangs off to a pretty good start the first couple of innings. They've scored 1 run in each of the first 3 innings. They've come to the plate. And they hold a 3-run advantage. 3-0 is the score. Henderson Perez will get things started in this half inning for the Paddleheads. Akins to follow, and then the top of the order. First pitch to Henderson Perez is grounded foul on the third base side. So Billings' first couple innings definitely seems to be seeing Munch pretty well, having corralled 6 hits. Also have had the big hit with 2 outs in all first 3 innings. Pitch to Perez is grounded slowly left side. This one will be a throw over from Barth, who just does get Perez at first. Barth waited for that one at short, a slow roller, and Perez almost beat it out to first. But that is out number 1. And Kelvin Pilot starting to get on a bit of a roll. After that double to O'Connor in the first frame, he has retired the next 6 batters in a row that he's faced. With 1 out and the bases empty, The number 9 hitter in the order, Jared Akins, will get a shot. Last 10 days or so, I've seen Akins get more playing times. Akins hits one well. The other way. Straight away left field. This one is gone. Jared Akins jumps all over the first pitch he sees and launches one the other way to straightaway left, his first long ball of the season. And it's all about the long ball in Missoula in the first couple innings. That's 3 already combined, and the Paddleheads are on the board here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Score is now 3-1. And for Akins, his first homer of the year, good enough of a reason to break out the paddle in the hat. So home run number 1 and RBI number 1 on the year for Akins. It's now a 2-run game. Kevin Watley now into the box. First pitch to Watley misses up high. 1 ball, no strike count. Watley bounced out to Tristan Peterson at first, his first at-bat to lead off first inning. Now a 2-run contest with Missoula getting on the board. Impressive swing by Akins going the opposite way to left field. Pitch on the way, 1-0, misses down low to Watley. Was a good battle by Watley in that at-bat in the first inning. He saw 11 pitches from Kelvin Pilot. Worked it to a 3-2 and just fouled pitch after pitch off. Finally, Pilot won the battle. We'll see now how the right-hander reacts after giving up the long ball. 2-0 with 1 out. The pitch, fastball, not close, 3-0. We've seen that from Pilot, kind of blips of control issues. And control has been something he's struggled with in the past at times. Clayton O'Connor waiting next. 3-0. The delivery to Watley. Fastball, belt high, strike on the inside. Count now 3 balls and a strike. Next 2 nights, couple of night games on tap. 7 o'clock first pitches here at the Yard in Missoula. For action shifts to Billings. A 3-1 fouled off to the right. Past Ryan Whithorn in the first base coach's box. In Billings, 2 night games and a day game. 6:35 first pitch time on Saturday night, and then Monday, the finale. Sunday will be a 1:05 start. The 3-2 is grounded left side. Coming in is Barth, the shortstop, backhanding, throwing off balance in time to get Watley relatively easily. Nice play by the shortstop Barth to record out number 2. That will send McLean O'Connor into the box with 2 gone and nobody on base. So Pilot able to bounce back after giving up the home run ball. Not out of the woods yet in this inning as O'Connor steps up for the second time. First pitch to O'Connor. Fastball gets the call on the outer half, 0-1. Pitch with some sink moving away from the right-handed batting O'Connor a bit. Count 0-1. Cam Thompson would swing it next if O'Connor reaches, who's already doubled in the game. The 0-1 is low and outside, evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Trying to go to a similar spot where he got strike 1, maybe trying to get O'Connor to go after the 0-1 pitch after seeing one on the outside call to strike, but O'Connor leaves the bat back. Double he had in the first was a rocket into left center field. 1-1 the count. The pitch to O'Connor. Check swing. Called strike. Knees on the outside part of the plate. Similar spot. What was called strike 1. Not sure how excited O'Connor was about that call. Kind of looked back at home plate umpire after it was called a strike. But now O'Connor will have to battle in this at-bat. Behind in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Kelvin Pilot looking for a second strikeout. The 1-2 breaks off the plate away. O'Connor not offering. Count now evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mustangs won 7 in a row coming into action tonight. 2-2 the count. Connor trying to keep this third inning alive. Pilot delivers. The 2-2 gets the call. Strike 3 with a breaking ball on the outside part of the plate, and that will do it. Strikeout number 2 for Pilot. Both of the strikeouts he's picked up have been looking, and it's just the one run. In this half for the Paddleheads, a solo shot by Jared Akins makes the score 3-1 as we head to the top of the fourth inning on a Wednesday night here in Missoula.
I am Jeff Laporte, an orthopedic surgeon and the medical director of the Missoula Bone and Joint Surgery Center. I am here to welcome you to our new state-of-the-art facility in Missoula, Montana. Since we opened, the feedback from our patients has been very positive. Our goal was to build a facility that helps us provide the best surgical services by increasing access to patient care and also providing high-quality orthopedic surgical services. In addition to the usual outpatient procedures we have done for years, we can also offer joint replacement surgery and spine surgery with the option of an overnight stay. Research shows that patients' outcomes are better if they return home soon after surgery. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons, anesthesiologists, and support personnel are committed to providing the highest quality of care at our new state-of-the-art facility at Missoula Bone and Joint Surgery Center.
Missoula Bone and Joint. Quality care from people who care.
Coming up for the Mustangs, who lead by a pair. 3-1 the score. Speaking of scoreboard, we'll take a quick peek around the Northern Division. Chuckers in action against the Vibes. Glacier Range Riders facing off with the Voyagers. 2 games in the Northern Division on the docket along with this one. As Munch comes over the top and delivers the first pitch of this inning, a called strike on the outside to make it 0-1. Barth hit a pop-up to O'Connor in shallow right field to end the first inning. He's 0-1. But starting with the game's Northern Division teams, the 0-1 grounded to O'Connor at second. Gets a good hop on the second hop, throws over to first to record out number 1. Barth now 0-1 as Brian Pereira will now step in. Man, touched on a few times the struggles of the Rocky Mountain Vibes last season. It's been more of the same here in 2022. 1-11 start, and might be safe to say that the Vibes are going to be headed to the win-loss column again as they trail the Chuckers in the 5th inning 19-0 over in Colorado Springs. First pitch to Pereira misses down low. More of the same for the Chuckers, who oftentimes saw the Vibes last season actually played more games against Rocky Mountain a season ago, a Southern Division team, than they did against the Paddleheads. Kind of an interesting thing with the scheduling. The 1-0 pitch, check swing, strike on the inside with what looks like a slider. Even count now at 1 out. Other game featuring Northern Division teams, the Range Riders, who also have been scuffling, lost 6 in a row going into action tonight, but they're off to a great start against the Voyagers in the 5th inning. 1-1 pitch, fastball right there for strike 2 at the knees to Pereira. Pereira hit the ball right on a line into right center field to lead off the second, but Lamar Sparks was able to come in and make a nifty sliding catch in right center, keep Pereira off the bases. 1-2 from Munch on the way, foul back. Fans especially looking for a strikeout in this inning in the top of the 4th. Thanks to Big Creek Coffee Roasters is the clap for coffee inning, or the jitter inning. an opposing hitter strikes out in this frame, it's free coffee. 1-2, the count to Pereira. Munch looking for strikeout number 4. Here's the pitch. This one fouled off again. So the fans will have to wait one more pitch to see if they'll get some coffee. I wouldn't mind a little, probably too late for caffeine, but a little decaf. Maybe just something a little warm, Maybe some tea. That's always good for broadcasters. 1-2 with 1 out. The pitch. Swing and a miss. The fans get what they're looking for. There's your free coffee. Pereira goes down swinging for the second out of the inning. But for Munch, his first couple of frames hasn't been about getting the first 2 outs. As all 3 runs that have come in for Billings to this point have all been with 2 outs. It was an RBI single for Jacob Klein, scoring Mitch Piotnik in the first inning. Then in the second and third, solo home runs from Cruz Taylor in the second, then Jacob Klein in the third. First pitch to Christian Pena, called strike on the outside. Number 9 hitting Christian Pena. Bounced out to McLean O'Connor. Back in the second inning, he's 0 for 1. 3-1 advantage for Billings. The 0-1 pitch. Taken again, strike 2. Knee high on the outer half. Munch looking for a 1-2-3 inning for the first time here in the 4th. Keep the deficit at 2. 6 hits for Billings, 2 on the other side for the Paddleheads. The 0-2 delivery. Fastball misses the outside. You could see when that pitch hit the glove that a few players it was kind of strange to watch. Seemed like 3 or 4 players all at the same time all leaned at once to the left side, leaning towards the dugout. The 1-2 on the way. This one fouled at the plate. May have gone off the mask of the umpire Bidwell. So Bidwell walks out to Munch, give himself a little bit of time to regather himself. We gave you the scores in the north. Let's take a look at what's going on in the south. Northern Colorado Owls taking on the Ogden Raptors. Raptors lead things in the early going in the south coming into tonight, but trail, bottom of the 4th inning, 5-4 deficit for the Raptors at Lindquist Field. The 1-2 to Pena, popped up. Left side looks playable for Watley. Coming in a bit, makes the catch. Right in between second and third base, and that is the conclusion of the top of the 4th. It is a clean 1-2-3, top of the 4th inning for Munch and the Paddleheads, who continue to trail by 2. 3-1 the score on 102.9 ESPN and GoPaddleheads.com.
It's really sad but true. Known as the 100 Deadliest Days. Between Memorial Day and Labor Day, fatal car crashes increase dramatically nationwide. A car accident can flip your life upside down. And if distracted, negligent, or impaired driving has left you injured by no fault of your own, a call to the Advocates is your next step. No out-of-pocket expense. You don't pay a dime until they win your case. The experienced attorneys at the Advocates will help you get back on your feet. Call them 406-640-4444 or go to MontanaAdvocates.com.
Everybody knows that high school sports generate suspense, excitement, and drama.
They also generate higher grade point averages, stronger work habits, and greater self-esteem.
Everybody knows that high school sports give us more value for our entertainment dollar.
They also give us leaders committed to strengthening communities right here in Montana. The true value of playing sports in school can't be measured in wins and losses or dollars and cents. Studies show that participation in sports, along with other extracurricular activities, is one of the best ways to teach leadership, cooperation, accountability, and other invaluable life skills. Don't just stand on the sidelines. Encourage the young people you know to get in the game. When you do, you'll be helping them get ahead in life. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Montana High School Association and the Montana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
ESPN Radio for Western Montana. KKVU HD3 Stevensville and 102.9 FM on K275BS Missoula. You're listening to Paddlehead Baseball, ESPN Missoula.
The Paddleheads will send the heart of their order to the plate in the fourth inning opposite Kelvin Pilot. Cam Thompson, base hit to right field on the first pitch he sees from Kelvin Pilot. Got a little bit more lift on that line drive. He had a ball that looked very similar to that in the first inning against Pilot that Jacob Klein was able to reach up and catch. So Thompson in his second at-bat said, no, not so fast. We're just going to give this one a little bit more lift. I mean, it was right on a line, going right at Klein. Off the bat, I was thinking, oh no, this again? But first pitch to Sparks. This one a little looper, right center field. Going out, Klein can't get it. Thompson on the move, he's going to make it for 3. Sparks a big turn at first, he stays put. But 2 pitches, and just like that, Missoula set up with runners on at the corners. Both of them base hits from Sparks and Thompson. Something that you would hope if you're a Paddlehead fan that Missoula will be able to do more this season. But 2 very different swings. Thompson a line shot, and Sparks just a little flare into right center that Klein actually laid out for, trying to get to. Nick Gatewood to the plate. First pitch to Gator. Fastball. High for ball 1. Gatewood, kind of a confusing play in the second, leading things off. The ball hit to right field. At first thought it dropped in front of Taylor, but it was actually able to make the catch as Kelvin Pilot tosses over to first to check on the very speedy Lamar Sparks. Seen Missoula the last couple games start to try to be a little bit more aggressive on the bases. 12 steals and 19 attempts on the season. Sparks, a fair-sized lead away from first. Does not go. The 1-0 pitch is grounded to the dive. Nice stop by Pena. Throw to second. That's 1. On to first. 2, a double play. Wow. What a nice stop by Christian Pena at third base. A run comes in to score from third as Thompson scores to make it a one-run game. But what a stop by Christian Pena. Laying out, makes a throw to second. Klein was there to complete a 5-4-3 double play. Wow. That was a fantastic play at third base by Christian Pena. So Gatewood will get credit for an RBI, but the bases are now empty with 2 gone as Keaton Greenwald takes upstairs. So kind of a good news, bad news scenario. Yes, Missoula happy they get a run in to cut the deficit to 1. But if that ball gets through off the bat of Gatewood, that continues to fuel the flames of this inning. Instead, now the bases are empty with 2 outs. The 1-0 pitch, breaking ball, called strike on the outside corner to Pilot, from Pilot. Greenwald bounced out to Barth, the shortstop. His first time, he's 0 for 1. So this rally ended very quickly and started very quickly in this inning. As the 1-1, I guess it shouldn't say it's over yet for Missoula, as the count now 2-1, pitch missing off the plate to Greenwald. But the first 2 pitches of this inning, base hit from Thompson and Sparks. Then Gatewood, very quickly in his at-bat, bounces into a double play. The 2-1 pitch, fastball, strike on the outside corner. Evens up the count at 2 to Greenwald. If Greenwald can get on, Brenton Davis, the catcher, would hit next in this inning. RBI for Gatewood was his 11th of the year. The 2-2 about to be on its way. Here it comes. This one grounded slowly right side. Klein comes in, has it cleanly, throws to first in time to record the final out of this half inning. Missoula, another run on the board. 2 innings in a row they've scored, but still a one-run lead for the Mustangs, thanks in part to a fabulous defensive play from Christian Pena. Score 3-2 as we head to the 5th inning on 102.9 ESPN and GoPaddleHeads.com.
Buying a silencer doesn't have to be complicated. Selway Armory can streamline the process. Swing into 2825 Stockyard Road, Unit E6 in Missoula to digitally submit everything you need to get a silencer. From fingerprints to registration, Selway Armory has you covered. Selway Armory has a massive silencer selection from all major manufacturers, including elite iron silencers made in Montana. And if you buy a silencer in-house, your registration is free. Selway Armory, 2825 Stockyard Road, Unit E6 in Missoula.
When Regime Seabrook joins Colter Nuanez in the studio, you know what you're going to get. A unique perspective, insightful observations, and plenty of laughs to go with it.
Matt Ryan in the last year or two, you know how lasagna noodles look like when they come out of the box? When he's walking back there and Matt Ryan's got that weird elongated giraffe neck, I have a long neck, you know, like Land Before Time style. When he moves around, he looks like a moving lasagna noodle. Oh my God. I'm just saying, man.
Catch Regime Seabrook once a week on Nuanez Now, 4 to 6 p.m. on ESPN 102.9 Missoula.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school, so I'm trying to break that barrier. My daughter Brooklyn was also a motivation for me to go back to school. Every day after work, went straight to school, and it paid off.
At age 26, Kareem finished his high school diploma.
I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
This is Missoula Paddlehead Baseball on 102.9 ESPN Radio.
Back to the action here. We are in the 5th inning. We're about to begin the 5th. 102.9 ESPN, GoPaddleHeads.com. Jason Munch will look to get his team 3 innings as he goes back out for another half inning of work for Michael Schlack and the Paddleheads. It will be the top of the order coming up for the Mustangs to get this half inning started. Cruz Taylor to the dish for the 3rd time, along with Mitch Piotnik and Jalen Garcia. If you're hearing some barking and howling going on at the yard, it's just because they had it is a Wolf Wednesday, and every night during a Wolf Wednesday in the 5th inning, they do a little dog fashion show of sorts. They get all the dogs in the ballpark to come walk across the Paddleheads dugout on the third base side. First pitch to Taylor, Raker called a strike. 0-1. Couple of highlights tonight. I always think it's funny when a corgi comes out. So they just have such a... Their back legs just look so kind of funny and stub-like. Especially walking across doing the strut like a fashion show. The 0-1 pitch is outside to Taylor. The home run ball, part of the offense for both teams in the first couple of innings. 2 of the 3 runs for Billings tonight have come on homers, with Taylor hitting one of them. Hit a solo shot back in the second. It was an impressive swing into right center. The 1-1 pitch swung on and missed. Taylor was thinking about his second home run with that swing. Took a big rip at it, came up empty. I guess you could say tonight's been outhouse or castle for Taylor at the plate. Mentioned the 2-run homer, taking on the deepest part of the yard in right center. Also struck out swinging. It's behind in the count here, 1-2. Munch comes over the top, throws. This one, a line drive past a dive of Thompson into left field. Base hit for Cruz Taylor with 2 strikes. Leadoff base runner for the Mustangs, who look to get that run back they lost in the bottom half of the last inning. But that diving stop by Christian Pena, although Missoula got a run in that instance, that could be a moment you look back on in this ball game. Think, man, that could have kept who knows how many runs off the board. As Mitch Piotnik now stands in with a man at first. Throw from Munch is down low. We'll have to keep an eye on the bullpen. Not sure how short of a leash it'll be for Munch in this half inning. Because it seems like the first 12 games of the year or so, Paddleheads haven't asked their starter to go much past the 6th inning. The 1-0 will not come as Munch checks on the runner Taylor at first. That's one thing about the Mustangs. Yes, they've played fewer games than the Paddleheads, with their record sitting at 7-3 coming into tonight, with Missoula's at 6-6. They have not tried to steal many bags. That's coming into tonight. And right as I say that, runner takes off. This one's fouled off by Piotnik. Almost right on cue. Taylor takes off. The count now even at 1. Taylor did look to take off relatively late, so maybe that hit and run. But either way, Billings coming into tonight on the bases. They've only attempted 6 steals all year and only total have 3. Compared to Missoula, they've got 12 steals on the year. 1-1 delivery from Munch is a fastball that misses badly. Makes it count 2 balls and 1 strike. And the bullpen for the Paddleheads looks like will get going in this 5th inning. 2-1 the count to Mitch Piotnik, who's doubled and struck out so far. He's 1 for 2. 2-1 the count with Taylor at first. Munch comes home with the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Fastball around the belt, and we've seen Piotnik really let it rip on those high heaters. The last couple of at-bats he's had. Let it rip that time, came up empty. If I were Munch, I'd go right back up there. See if Piotnik will chase it again. 2-2 the count. This one off the plate away. Was a fastball. Fills up the count at 3-2. So this is a big pitch here. Runner very well could be on the move. Zach Smith, right-hander, we saw a couple times pitch very well in that Great Falls 6-game slate, is warming in the pen. 3-2. Munch delivers. Runner does not go. This one fouled off by Piotnik. Jalen Garcia waits next here. Top 5 1-run game. 3-2 the score. 7 hits for the Mustangs. 4 for the Paddleheads. No errors for either club to this point. Count full to Piotnik. At open stance from the left. Davis set up outside. The payoff is fouled away again by Piotnik. Staying alive in this at-bat. Zach Smith looks just about ready to go down in the pen if needed in this inning. I would imagine that Schlack would prefer to see Munch finish up this inning. 3-2. We'll see another to Piotnik. Here it comes. Swing and a miss and a slider down below the knees. Piotnik down on strikes for the 2nd time. That's a big first out for Munch. Touched on the success with Munch getting Piotnik to swing and miss at a fastball. Pulls the string, goes for the breaking ball, and that was the right choice, as it proved to be, as Munch picks up a K. That is strikeout number 5 on the mound for Munch on the hill. As Jalen Garcia will now step into the box with a man on at first and 1 out. Garcia, who does move very well. Target looks to be away from Davis for this first pitch. Here it comes. It's a fastball that misses the outside. Munch didn't think so. Count 1 ball, no strikes. Kind of motioned with both his hands towards the home plate area after that pitch was not called a strike. Pretty close. Maybe was a hair bit above the belt. That's maybe where the call came in for a ball. Either way, 1-0. Taylor rather, on at first. The 1-0 is in the dirt. Davis couldn't handle it cleanly, so it gives Taylor the opportunity to take second base. Count now 2-0 to Jalen Garcia. That puts Munch in an interesting spot here now, with first base now unoccupied, and Garcia in the box. In the driver's seat, this basically now becomes a situation where Munch will choose if he'd rather face Garcia or the man on deck, Gabe Wirtz. The 2-0 delivery is taken all the way. And that's a balk, actually. Hold that. It's now Taylor's going to be awarded third base. So they're going to say that Munch balked, where he stopped his motion towards the plate in the stretch. It's something you can't do with a man on base. So Taylor awarded a free 90 feet here. The pitch to Garcia is swung on and fouled away to the right. Strike one on Garcia. One out in the frame. But now Munch will have to deal with a man at third and less than 2 outs. Advanced to second on the wild pitch. Now a balk moves him to third. 2-1 the count to Jalen Garcia. The pitch from Munch is on the outside for strike 2. Pitch with some sink on the outer half. Nicely placed from Munch. Count is now even at 2. Munch would love to pick up back-to-back strikeouts here to take some of the pressure off this frame. Infield not playing in for the Paddleheads, despite there being a man at third and less than 2 outs. The 2-2 offering to Garcia. Swing and miss. A high fastball. Chased it up above the zone. And Munch does pick up 2 strikeouts in a row to get to the second out of the inning. But that does bring Gabe Wirtz into the box. And all the runs so far, we've mentioned it a few times, have come with 2 outs for Billings. Will Wirtz come through with 2 outs with a man on at third? Wirtz singled down the left field line his last time. First pitch to Wirtz here is below the knees for ball 1. And despite it being a single, it was a very well-struck ball off the bat of Wirtz. Down the line and left, it got to the wall to a spot where Akins could play it very well off the wall and got it into the infield quickly, so Wirtz didn't test it. The 1-0 pitch, line fair ball down the left field line. This one will roll into the corner and will be extra bases for Wirtz. Wirtz easily into second base. That's an RBI double, and the Mustangs have a 2-run lead again. It's 4-2. More 2-out success for the Mustangs. All 4 runs they have scored tonight have come with 2 away. Wirtz now 2 for 3 in the ballgame. Wirtz now with a team best 15 RBIs on the season. That will bring Michael Schlack out to the mound to have a word with Munch. Didn't see him motion towards the pen, but I believe looks like we're going to see a change. As it looks like Munch is departing, and yes, he is. That is going to be the end of the road for Jason Munch after 4 2/3 innings. 4 runs allowed. We're going to have a change, see if the Paddleheads can get out of this inning with no more damage done. But the Mustangs continue to lead. Score is 4-2 now. We'll step away and come back for the conclusion of the 5th inning, top of the 5th.
Satisfaction is guaranteed when you choose Missoula Realty. Locally owned and operated, the team at Missoula Realty has over 100 years of combined experience. As the old saying goes, it takes a village. And in this real estate market, it takes a team. See the difference a team can make. Call Missoula Realty today. Missoula Realty has a solution for every single client, from the experienced investor to the first-time homebuyer. But hey, don't take our word for it. Read unfiltered testimonials and reviews from our past clients online at ratedagent.com. Missoula Realty, 406-549-0094.
Brooks Nuanez of Skyline Sports has spent years patrolling the sidelines in the Big Sky Conference, and he shares that knowledge on Nuanez Now on ESPN Radio.
I think it's the only thing that people should talk about until it's fixed. I don't think there's any way around it. FCS football, and Colter, you hear me say this more than anyone around. It's a very high level of football, and Montana has a very high level of expectation in that realm of football. It's a very high-level Division I institution with amazing football tradition. When you go look, when you go watch Northern Iowa, you go watch North Dakota State, you go watch South Dakota State or Sam Houston or Montana State, monster, efficient, dominant offensive line. Montana has not had that for better part of a half decade, if not more. I don't think it's a coaching issue. I don't think it's a scheme issue as much as it is a mentality issue. They've had some guys that play over their head, but there are plenty of holes within that offensive line that they need to address.
Catch Nuanez Now from 4 to 6 every weekday on ESPN Missoula.
What's up? This is Sammy B, the MC for your Missoula Paddleheads. Thanks for listening to Paddleheads Baseball on ESPN Missoula 102.9 FM.
Top of the fifth inning here in Missoula sees the Mustangs out in front by a score of 4-2. A big two-out double off the bat of Gabe Wirtz sends a run in this half frame for Billings. On to continue this fifth inning is reliever Zach Smith, seeing his fifth game of action, facing Jacob Klein, who fouls off the first pitch he sees off to the right. Good numbers for Zachary Smith. This is fifth appearance, 12 innings. He's been long-range reliever to this point in the year. 12 Ks in those innings, 2.25 ERA. Had two very nice outings last week against Great Falls. One repitched 5 2/3 in the game on June 1st last week. The 0-1 fouled off by Klein. Make the count 0-2. Also has an appearance against the Mustangs, second game of the year. Smith pitched 2 2/3 of scoreless baseball, struck out one, walked a couple batters. The Paddleheads' 11-9 victory over Billings. 0-2. Wirtz still on at second base in this inning. Pitch from Smith. Fastball high to Klein. Makes the count a ball and 2 strikes. Good start for Jacob Klein in his first 2 at-bats. Pioneer League leader in batting average, seeing why in his first 2 ABs. RBI single in the first and a solo home run in the third. 1-2 the count to Klein. Smith looking at Wirtz at second. The pitch is off the plate away. Evens up the count at 2. This inning began with a single to Taylor. Advanced to third on a balk and a wild pitch. Then got a couple of strikeouts, though. Did Munch get 2 outs, but the bugaboo again is that getting that third out with no runs coming across. The 2-2 on the way is way in tight to Klein, bouncing away from the catcher, but not quite far enough to allow the runner to advance. The count will now run full to Jacob Klein, count 3 balls and 2 strikes. It was a matter of the ball going to the left side of the field, away from Davis on the third base side. That's why you didn't see Wirtz test it. And he knew from when he was on the bases previously, don't test Davis. Wirtz got thrown out trying to take second base back in the third inning. The payoff to Klein is hit very well. Straightaway left field. Forget about that one. That ball's way gone. Jacob Klein. A monster home run to straightaway left field and extends the lead for the Mustangs. What is now a 3-run fifth inning. Score is now 6-2. Second home run of the night for Klein. What a start to this series for Jacob Klein. 3 for 3, 2 home run balls, and now 4 RBIs in the first 5 innings of action. It's been the Jacob Klein show for Billings. Touched on how well he's been swinging the bat. Jacob Klein, average of 500 coming into tonight. That's continued big time as Peterson steps in, did not go after the first pitch that was off the plate. But now all 6 runs scored by the Mustangs, all with 2 outs. Continuing that trend here on this Wednesday. 1-0 pitch to Peterson. Swung on and missed. Pitch on the inside. The home run ball has also been there. That being the 3rd homer hit by Billings in this game. 2 of them coming from Klein and another from Cruz Taylor. 1-1 to Tristan Peterson. The pitch from Smith is a foul tip into the glove of Davis. 1-2 the count. Peterson reached in the first. Also flew out a little lazy fly ball down the right field line that was corralled by Sparks. Smith looking to end this inning with no more damage done. after the monster home run from Klein. The 1-2 pitch is low and outside. Evens up the count at 2. One of those that, second that one left the bat, there was no doubt that that one was leaving the yard. I don't even think Akins moved a step in left field. Kind of looked back, looked up. The 2-2 on the way. Check swing Peterson did not offer as the count is now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Peterson gets aboard. Jordan Barth, the number 7 batter in the order, would get a shot to swing it in this half inning. The lead now 4 for the Mustangs, their largest of the night. The payoff is taken. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Pitch with some sink on the outer half, and down on strikes is Peterson, but not before. The Mustangs do some more damage with 2 outs. An RBI double from Gabe Wirtz, and then a 2-run shot off the bat of Jacob Klein. Score now 6-2 in the favor of the Mustangs as we head to the bottom of the 5th.
There is a reason customers go back again and again to DeMorris Buick GMC Mercedes, Missoula's most trusted dealership and proud sponsor of Missoula PaddleHeads baseball. DeMorris high-end service shop is unmatched in diagnostics, diesel maintenance, and repair, serving generations of satisfied customers. DeMorris Buick GMC Mercedes is your area Sprinter van headquarters for the Montana outdoor lifestyle. Check out demorris.com for new and pre-owned inventory or stop by 3115 West Broadway. Missoula has always held a wonderful reputation as a runner's haven, a place where those who like to jog along the river and those that like to bound around the trails thrive. From the dedicated weekend warriors of our Montana communities to the exceptional college and high school running talents from across the Treasure State, many of the best athletes are the runners in and around western Montana. Tune into Nuanez Now, twice a month for River City Runners, a local segment about the Montana running community. River City Runners is proudly presented by Zootown Sports Cards.
Here's a fun fact for you. The average chameleon can point their eyes in 2 different directions. On the other hand, the average human can't. So unless you're a chameleon, there's absolutely no way you can focus on texting and driving at the same time. So don't do it, unless you're a chameleon.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
We now return to Paddlehead Play-by-Play on ESPN Radio.
Brenton Davis will come into the box as we get started here in the bottom of the 5th inning. See if Missoula can find a rebuttal after the Mustangs get some breathing room in the top half of this inning. 3 runs scored by the Mustangs. Brenton Davis, Henderson Perez, and Jared Akins. 7-8-9 coming up against Kelvin Pilot. Inning begins with some action going in that Billings bullpen. The first pitch a called strike to Davis. Mustangs had issues with their bullpen first 3 games of the year in this ballpark. Paddleheads winning all 3. Looking back to last year, the bullpen was an issue for Billings as well. The 0-1 from Pilot is cut on and missed. Fastball with some sink on the outer half. Davis couldn't catch up with it. Count now 0-2. Davis struck out looking against Pilot his first time. Pilot has had 2 Ks, and both of them have been looking. One to Davis, who's in the box. The other was for McLean O'Connors. The 0-2 misses outside. Fastball off the plate, 1-2. Count to Davis. 3 home runs in the first 5 innings for the Mustangs, something they didn't do much of. They were here for a 3-game set to start the year. Only 1 homer in that series. 1-2 pitches, a high chopper towards first. This a foul ball. Gloved by Peterson near the bag at first, but it was to the right of the line. The only batter with a home run in that 3-game set was Piotnik. Now, 3 homers from 2 separate players already. First couple innings of action. Jacob Klein, what a start for him. Impressive looking player. 1-2 the count to Davis. trying to start this inning off with a bang. Pitch on the way to Davis. Is a ball lifted right center field in the park. Moving over a bit is Taylor. He's got plenty of time and tracks it down. A high fly ball into medium depth right center. Out number 1. Davis now 0 for 2 as Henderson Perez will now jump into the box. Second time in consecutive games we've seen the Paddleheads use both Perez and Davis in the batting order. Perez once again the DH as he was on Sunday. First pitch to him here, a fastball, belt high, called a strike. 0-1 the count. Mentioned that there is some action going in the Billings bullpen down the right field line. Can't quite get a glimpse of who the number is. 0-1. Pitch on the way from Pilot. Fastball misses the outside. Evens up the count. Bidwell kind of fooled me that time. He kind of pointed off to the right to indicate that it was off the plate. It looked like he was going to go into a strike with that trigger finger hand. But no, he deked me. 1-1 pitch. Misses the outside with a breaking ball. Count now 2 balls and 1 strike. 1 out, bases empty in what is a 6-2 game. Billings out in front of Missoula. Game 1 of a 3-game set here at Allegiance Field. Jared Akins to follow with 1 out in the frame as it stands now. The 2-1 pitch is low and no. A late called strike to Perez. Evens up the count. Perez can't believe it. See, looked back to Ray Bidwell after that was called a strike. That one looked to be off the plate, especially taking into consideration how the zone has been tonight laterally, pretty small. Surprise, that was called a strike. 2-2 is spoiled right side foul. Giving chase is Peterson. He runs out of room. This one's into about the 3rd row of seats. The general admission area, and looks like a happy kid has tracked it down. Now the kid's got a choice to make. To keep the foul ball, the souvenir, or does he cash it in? Tough call. You can get tickets to the fun zone, or you can keep the foul ball. 2-2 pitch to Perez is a high pop-up. First base side, drifting into foul ground. Playable, though, for Peterson, who reaches up and makes the play. Behind the bag just onto the green grass behind the bag in foul territory. And Perez is retired for the second time. That sends Jared Akins into the box. Akins, an impressive swing of the bat back in the 3rd inning, went to the opposite field, launched a home run to left. First pitch he saw in his last at bat put the Paddleheads on the board in the 3rd inning. First run they scored. Pilot looking for a quick frame here in the 5th. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Missoula was on the board once again in the 4th inning, but I've touched on it when it happened. It was an RBI ground out from Nick Gatewood, but a diving stop was made on the play by Christian Pena, the 3rd baseman. After the Mustangs rallied in the next half inning as Akins swings through the 1-0 pitch to make the count 1-1. That instance, Paddleheads had seen back-to-back hits from Lamar Sparks and Cam Thompson. That ball gets by Pena, 3rd baseman. See back-to-back-to-back hits with a run on the board. That rally, which ended at just being 1 run, may have been much different. 1-1 pitch on the way is outside. And of course, it's hard to look back on any type of scenario and think about how something could have turned out differently. It's impossible to really know what would have happened in that scenario. The 2-1 pitch to Akins on the way is fouled straight back to even the count at 2 with 2 outs. But sure, base is empty and 2 outs. How the situation ended with Thompson scoring versus a couple of runners on and nobody out with a run in. That's a much more favorable situation for an offense to continue a rally. Aikens trying to start one here in the bottom of the fifth with 2 outs and the bases empty, with Missoula trailing by 4. 6-2 the score. Pitch from Pilot is a ball hit up the middle, a base hit for Aikens. I think he lost his bat. Yes, it did, as now I see the barrel that's in between first and second. So Aikens gives up a bat for a hit. Touched on how the kids can give up a foul ball to get into the fun zone. Aikens has given up barrels to get base knocks. And that's 2 hits now for Aikens. He's 2 for 2. Kevin Watley will now jump into the box. Watley still looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 2. But Missoula does have life here in the bottom of the fifth. Their 5th hit of the night. Watley, switch hitter, hitting from the left. He takes one upstairs for ball 1 with a fastball. And of the bizarre things we saw last week, feels like whenever you come out to the yard, you see something different you've never seen before. With the Voyagers in town last week, 1-0 from Pilot about to come in, setting up inside is Pereira. Here it comes. This one fouled back to even up the count. But there was a sequence last week with Great Falls in town where they had a starting pitcher on the mound, the Voyagers did, that was struggling. Starting to run out of gas, and the starting pitcher threw a pitch or two in the at-bat with Watley in the box. And Tommy Thompson elected to make a pitching change in the middle of the at-bat. Something you very rarely ever see unless there's an injury involved. But it took place. In Watley, there was a right-handed pitcher on at the time. They put a lefty on the mound. So Watley, in the same at-bat, hit from the right and left side. Mentioned he is a switch hitter. One of those scenarios, I'll probably remember the game all year. You just never see that type of scenario play out. 1-1 to Watley. The pitch, this one up high. 2-1 strike count with 2 away. 1 run in each of the first 3 innings for Billings. Kept off the board in the 4th, but then matched that total with 3 runs in the top half of this inning to grab a 4-run advantage. Missoula has never led at any point in the game. 2-1 to Watley with 2 outs. Pilot throws. This one, a high fly ball, straightaway left field. Now coming towards the line a bit is Piotnik. He is right there, and he puts it away for the 3rd out of this half frame. So a little flare base knock for Aikens, giving up a bat to get it, but that's it in this half inning for Missoula. Kelvin Pilot back into the dugout. Just 2 runs allowed through 5 innings, and his club leads by 4. 6-2 the score on 102.9 ESPN and GoPaddleheads.com.
The most popular sport in the world. Whatever you call it, we're talking about it on Soccer and Snow and Smoke, the new podcast from ESPN Missoula. Join me, Andrew Houghton, as I examine football at all levels, from the burgeoning club and high school scene in Missoula to the defending Big Sky Conference champion Montana Grizzlies to the great leagues of Europe. Find Soccer and Snow and Smoke wherever you get your podcasts, and listen to the Footy 15 segment twice a month on Nuanez Now.
ESPN Radio for Western Montana, KKVU HD3 Stevensville, and 102.9 FM on K275BS Missoula. Away from your radio? Stream Paddlehead Baseball live on 1029ESPN.com or on the TuneIn Radio app. Now back to the ballpark.
Sixth inning just underway here on 1029 ESPN and GoPaddleheads.com. The Mustangs have a 4-run advantage over the Paddleheads tonight so far. 6-2 the score. Zach Smith back to work, facing Jordan Barth to lead off this half inning for Billings. Bottom third of their order coming up. On one pitch, swung on and missed. First pitch of this at-bat was thrown right as we were coming back from break. It was a foul ball down the left side. That one swung through by Barth. Barth 0 for 2 to this point. Grounded out to O'Connor at second base in his last plate appearance. The 0-2 from Smith. Ground ball right side. More work for O'Connor. Gets a funky hop, handles it, throws wide, and Gatewood keeps his back foot on the bag. Nicely done by Nick Gatewood. Is able for just a split second to get that foot on the bag to get the out. That funky hop at the last second on that ground ball to Thompson, to O'Connor, tripped him up just enough for that throw to go wide. But Gatewood was able to bail him out. And that leadoff man is kept off the bases. Here's Brian Pereira. First pitch on the way is below the knees for ball one. But the issue for Missoula has not been, as I mentioned multiple times, getting the first or second out and getting that third out. That's where all the Mustangs' runs have come to this point. The 1-0 is swung through and missed. Ball one, strike the count. That's one thing about this Billings offense. They are up there hacking, similar to what Great Falls was in that 9-game stretch against the Voyagers. Speaking of the Voyagers, they were trailing by a wide margin against the Range Riders last time we checked. We'll be back in just a minute as the 1-1 pitch is down low. Not as large of a deficit as the Vibes did have against the Chuckers. Last time we looked was 19-0 over in Colorado Springs. Oof. That's a long night at the yard. 2-1 pitch is low to Pereira. Make the count 3-1. Pereira also hitless tonight. The bottom third of this order for the Mustangs has been dead silent to this point. Combined coming into this at-bat, 0 for 6. Nobody has reached. The 3-1 pitch is skied down the left field line, maybe playable for Akins, near the foul line, makes the catch. In fair territory, down the left field line. Must have been standing right on the foul line. Not much room over there, down the line and left. But Akins was able to get there for the second out. Off the bat, I thought there was zero chance that that ball was going to stay in fair territory. But it just kind of went on that line, right down the line, and did not waver 1 inch to the right or to the left. Second out in this inning as Christian Pena steps in and takes one in the dirt. 1-0 the count. Have mentioned it, there is not a breath of wind in this ballpark. Flags in center field are hanging straight down. Said it was on a line, right at the line, with nothing blowing it anyway. It just stayed there. 1-0 pitch to Pena, cut on and missed. On the outside part of the plate. Even count at 1 to Christian Pena. Maybe hasn't showed out at the plate. Touched on that play he had defensively back in the 4th inning. That was a huge moment in this game. Big reason why the Mustangs have the lead they do. The 1-1 pitch misses outside. 2 balls and a strike the count. 2 outs. Mustangs do hold the 4-run advantage in game 1 of this 3-game set. looking to quickly erase the memories of the sweep they had, or they suffered, I should say, in this ballpark back in May. 2-1 pitch, breaking ball, finds the outside. At the knees, now an even count to Pena, who is bounced out to Thompson at third and hit a pop-up to Watley to end the fourth. Smith looking for a 1-2-3, top of the sixth inning. 2-2 pitch on its way. Taken low and outside for ball 3. Not a bad pitch there from Zachary Smith. A breaking ball. Looked like it was going right in at the knees on the outside. Dipped down below it. Pena was not fooled. Count is now full. We'll see Cruz Taylor if Pena reaches. The payoff is swung on and lined in right field for a base hit in front of Lamar Sparks. On one hop, fires it back in, and Christian Pena is able to get himself on base with 2 gone. Sets it up for Cruz Taylor. Taylor led off the 5th inning and would later score part of that 3-run rally in the last half inning. And here we go again. More success for Billings with 2 outs in a frame. Taylor has 2 hits himself. First pitch in this at-bat, strike on the outside. So far, Mustangs, they've had in the game 11 at-bats with 2 outs recorded, 6 hits, 6 for 11. Done very well in that regard. 0-1, pitch on the way to Taylor is swung on and missed. Pitch on the outside. 0-2 now the count. So Smith has got a couple of pitches to play with here. Mitch Piotnik would bat next in this frame for the Mustangs. Base hit for Pena puts Billings in double digits for hits in the ballgame. Now with 10, doubling up the Paddleheads in that category. They lead by 4 on the scoreboard. 6-2. The 0-2 pitch. Check swing, foul, straight back. 0-2 remains the count to Cruz Taylor. Missoula will send a good part of their order to the plate for the peanut inning, the bottom of the 6th. The fans may have a good shot at some free peanuts as 2-3-4 is coming up. The 0-2 pitch is skied into left center field. Pretty good carry on it, but looks like playable for Akins, who makes the play in front of the wall, a few paces on the warning track for out number 3. So no runs in this half inning for Billings. A stranded man on at first, and remains a 4-run ball game as we head to the peanut inning, the bottom of the 6th, 6-2 game. See if the Paddleheads can get something rolling offensively after this.
Hi, I'm Dave Lapham. I was motivated to have surgery because I can no longer do the things I love doing without the pain. I had a total knee joint replacement surgery, and I'm so happy with the care that I received. The surgery went so well, I was up and walking within a few hours and went home the next morning. I would recommend Missoula Bone and Joint to anybody who wants to keep being active without the constant pain. I loved having surgery at an outpatient setting so I could recover at home, and I can't wait to get back to my outdoor activities.
Pilot on the hill, as here comes manager Jim Riggleman. So after one batter, the Mustangs are going to go to the bullpen in this half inning. Not to me, it looks like it was Corey Wills that was warming in the bullpen. But that's not who's come out of the bullpen. Looks like it's Brett Barnett, a left-hander, that's come out to the mound, and yes, that is who has taken the ball. Indianapolis, Indiana native is Barnett taking the mound, a tall, lanky guy, 6'4", 200 pounds. Guy that did not appear here in this ballpark, Allegiance Field, the first week of the season. It's because Barnett is a guy that has just signed with this Billings club, did so about a week or so ago, 5 or 6 days ago. Looks good in his outing, did Barnett, throwing 2 scoreless in his professional debut back on June the 4th. So just getting his professional career started, he played with the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State University in his collegiate career. Had pretty good numbers while with the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State. 4.13 ERA in 73 career appearances. Most of that action coming out of the bullpen. And Barnett here will be asked to calm the waters in what is oftentimes a tough inning for opposing pitchers to get out of. The peanut inning. No, man. Oftentimes we see Sammy B leading the peanut inning chance, but now we're seeing a little cameo. Never know what's going to happen at the yard. We'll see how Barnett navigates this 6th inning. He does have a 4-run cushion to play around with. Batter will be Cam Thompson. Barnett looks pretty ready to go out on the hill. And not surprising to see Riggleman go right to the bullpen with Thompson coming up, with Thompson being a left-handed batter opposite the lefty on the hill, Barnett. Mention the outing that Barnett had in his pro debut, 2 scoreless. His first outing, that is his lone outing on the year to this point. Game against the Range Riders. Barnett looks ready to go. Thompson in the box, looking at first. Pitch on the way is taken up high for ball 1. Ball no strike the count. You can't quite close the book on Pilot. The starter went 5 innings, faced 1 batter in this frame. It was a single by McLean O'Connor. So he is responsible for that man on the bases. Pitch 1-0 to Thompson, way outside to make the count 2-0. 2 ball, no strike count. So Thompson, right out of the chute, jumps in the driver's seat in this at-bat as the fans look for a run, maybe a couple for some peanuts. You only need 1, but why not go for more? Be greedy. The 2-0 is not close, in the dirt, blocked by Pereira. Nicely done by Pereira to keep that one close. Count now 3-0 to Thompson. We've seen McLean O'Connor have the green light and a 3-0 count in this ball game. You may find out right here if Thompson does as well. But with none of the pitches being really that close in this AB, I'd be taken all the way. 3-0. The pitch. Outside. Once again, not close. And that is ball 4 to Cam Thompson. That immediately puts the Mustangs in a bit of a bind in this half inning. Paddleheads do trail by 4. 6-2 is the score. But the first two batters of this peanut inning, the bottom of the 6th, have both reached in front of the Paddleheads' hottest hitter, Lamar Sparks. Touchdown. Beginning of the broadcast, Sparks' team best batting average coming into tonight. Also had recorded hits in each of his last 5. Couple of ducks on the pond with nobody out. In this at-bat in the 6th. First pitch to Sparks. Swing and a foul. This one skipped to that protective netting. Just to the left a bit. And Sparks had a rip on that first pitch. He was looking to drive one. Runner at second is Thompson. O'Connor at first. 0-1 the count to Lamar Sparks, who singled in his last at-bat, the 4th. 0-1 pitch is a ball lined into right center in front of Taylor. Base hit. They're going to stop the runner at third. O'Connor. Throw comes in from Taylor to stop O'Connor. Had to stop for just a split second to see if Taylor would come up with it. But that's 3 base runners in a row. And now Nick Gatewood steps into the box, representing the tying run at the plate. Gatewood came into the box with his offense rallying and grounded into a 5-4-3 double play. Did bring in a run on that swing. Has a chance to really do some damage here with the bases loaded and nobody out in the 6th. First pitch, swing and a miss. Off speed, below the knees. Gatewood sitting on a fastball, swung right over the top of what looked like a changeup from Brett Barnett. 0-1 the count to Nick Gatewood, who is 0 for 2. 0-1 on the way. This one tipped foul, just barely by Gatewood. 0-2 the count. Got another peanut inning cameo. Sammy B letting everybody do it. 1-1 the count, or 0-2 rather, the count to Gatewood. Target away, the pitch coming is in the dirt. Blocked by Pereira with his glove. Pereira just stuck the glove out to make the stop, and it happened to go there. Sure, partially by design. But Pereira making another stop. That time keeping a run off the board, most likely. 1-2 the count to Gatewood. 6-2 game, but maybe not for long in the bottom of the 6th with the bases loaded. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Gatewood comes up empty on a breaking ball in the outside part of the plate. That is precisely what Barnett was looking for in that spot. Striking out Gatewood, and now manager Jim Riggleman's headed out to the mound once again. Didn't see anybody warming in the pen, but evidently Mustangs did have something rolling, as they will now make another pitching change. As Barnett will check out. Had Barnett stay out there to face Gatewood to keep the advantage on the Billings side with the lefty-lefty matchup. It's always tougher for a left-handed pitcher to face, or the other way, always tougher for a left-handed hitter to face a left-handed pitcher. So Jim Riggleman plays the advantage game for one hitter. And now we'll go, it looks like this is Correa. Yes, indeed. The former Rocky Mountain Vibe, Gene Correa, has taken the mound. 24 years old, out of Bolivar, Venezuela. Last year with the Vibes, 2-8 record in 18 appearances. Most of those outings starts. for Correa on the mound. Did face the Paddleheads earlier this season. It was the second game of the year on May 26th. Went 3 1/3 out of the bullpen, 4 hits, just 1 run, 2 Ks for the right-hander. Overall on the season, 3 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs allowed, all of them earned, and has struck out 4 batters so far for manager Jim Riggleman. His job right here is to try to stop the breathing in this bottom half of the 6th. Barnett was able to get the 1 out to Gatewood, a strikeout swinging, but that's just the first out. As the bases are still loaded here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Keaton Greenwald will be the batter, facing off with Correa. Correa, 24 years old, not real big out there on the mound. First pitch on the way to Greenwald is just above the zone for ball 1. A ball, no strike the count. Inning began with a single by O'Connor, a walk to Thompson, then another base hit from Sparks. The 1-0 is a high pop-up on the infield. Near the pitcher's mound, Correa calling for it, makes the catch for out number 2. And now Crow goes back to third, and the infield fly rule was in effect, it looks like. But the Mustangs are coming off the field. And no, that was the final out of the inning, as O'Connor, for some reason, coming off the third base bag, was now doubled off at third. And that's the end of the inning. What a bizarre ending to this inning. Thought there must have been some sort of justification as to why O'Connor was off the bag, that he couldn't possibly be coming off to record the final out, but that is precisely what happened, and that ends the inning. So Missoula had the bases loaded with nobody out, and they get nothing home. We're going to head to the top of the 7th with the Billings Mustangs leading by 4. 6-2 the score on 102.9 ESPN and GoPaddleheads.com.
Backed by popular demand, the All Nations Health Center and the Missoula Paddleheads are hosting the Indigenous Heritage Celebration June 16th through the 18th at Ogren Park Allegiance Field in Missoula. On June 16th, enjoy a grand entry, art vendors, and community partners as the Paddleheads take on the Great Falls Voyagers. On June 17th, come see a talent showcase featuring Chance Rush, Milo Smith, Tia Wood, and hosted by Foreshadow. June 18th, enjoy a 5K fun run and walk suitable for all ages right along the picturesque Clark Fork River. Come celebrate all of Montana's indigenous peoples at the Missoula Paddleheads Stadium. The Indigenous Heritage Celebration is presented by All Nations Health Center, the Missoula Paddleheads, and the Missoula Broadcasting Company. For more information, visit online at www.allnations.health or call 406-829-9515 today.
I'm probably okay to have one more drink before I drive home. I'm probably okay. I open the window to stay alert. Probably okay. I just popped some gum in my mouth. Step out of the car, please. I probably made a mistake.
Probably okay isn't okay when it comes to drinking and driving. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Away from your radio? Stream Paddlehead Baseball live on 1029ESPN.com. Now back to the ballpark.
Mitch Piotnik will lead off the top of the 7th after a very bizarre ending to the bottom half of the 6th. Saw the Missoula Paddleheads get turned away with nothing on the board. Piotnik fouls off the 0-1 to make the count 0-2. Smith still out there for Missoula, with the Paddleheads trailing by 4, 6-2. Paddleheads had the bases loaded, nobody out to start that 6th inning. The 0-2 pitch to Piotnik is way up high. And for what reason? The only reason I could think of is that O'Connor must have thought that there were 2 outs recorded when Greenwald was in the box. He popped up just a few paces in front of the mound. The 1-2 pitch is low. 2-ball, 2-strike count. The throw was going back to third. It just didn't seem possible that they could be recording the final out of an inning in that way. That's exactly how that equation played out. The 2-2 to Piotnik, swing and a miss at a high fastball from Smith to record the first out of the top of the 7th. For Piotnik, that's the strike. That's the hat trick. Doubled in the first, but since then it's been 3 strikeouts. As Jalen Garcia will now jump into the box. Garcia, 2 hits tonight, or check that 1 to this point. Garcia swings at the first pitch and spoils it foul over the top of the Blackfoot party deck. Speaking of partying, next 2 nights are pretty good for a little party here at the ballpark. Thirsty Thursday tomorrow, discounted brews. And then on Friday night, Brewfest night here at the Yard. The 0-1 pitch to Garcia is a slow roller left side, charging in as Thompson. He has it on the third hop, throws under the glove of Gatewood. That will allow Garcia to move up to second, backing up the play, throw to second base. O'Connor was backing up the play behind Gatewood, made a throw to second base to make that play interesting. Wow. Nicely done by O'Connor, backing up the play on the throw from Gatewood. Don't expect to see a second baseman there. But they almost had Garcia, or at least had a chance to get him at first. So we'll have to see if they give Garcia credit for a hit in that spot or if it's just a straight throwing error on the play. Either way, there will be an error charged on Thompson because Garcia was allowed to advance to second because of the throw. They did give Garcia a hit in that spot. So Gabe Wirtz in the box now with 1 out. First pitch was low. So if you're scoring at home, that's an infield hit for Garcia and then an E5 on Thompson. First error of the game on either club. Wirtz in the box is 2 for 3. 1-0 pitch, misses the outside to make the count 2-0. Gabe Wirtz, single and a double in his last 2 at-bats. The double down the left field line drove in a run, part of the 3-run rally for the Mustangs in the top of the 5th, and they lead by 4. 6-2 is the score. 2-0 pitch from Smith is low and outside, makes the count 3-0. Nothing doing in the Paddlehead pen down the left field line. You wouldn't imagine there would be much going on. The score where it is, and Smith has proven that he is able to go long in games out of the bullpen. 3-0 pitch to Gabe Wirtz is not close. In the dirt, that's a 4-pitch walk. First base was open, but can't imagine that Smith was thinking about facing this guy. Here comes the smoldering hot Jacob Klein. Jacob Klein touched on how he was the Pioneer League hottest hitter, the league best batting average. He's got 3 hits already, and each have driven in runs. Check swing. Klein goes after the pitch. Breaking ball off the plate. 0-1 the count with 1 out. You're not used to seeing that. But Klein tonight, an RBI single to get Billings on the board in the first, a 2-run shot in the third, and a solo home run in the third and 2-run shot in the 5th, as the 0-1 is another strike. This one called. Klein lets it go by and quickly falls behind 0-2. So the homers for Klein were his second and third on the year. he stands at 3 for 3 in the box with 4 RBIs. All that production in just 5 innings. The 0-2 pitch is taken low and outside. Good take from Klein. Smith trying to go back to that breaking ball that Klein chased on the first pitch of this AB. 1-2 the count. Tristan Peterson waits on deck for Billings. We've touched on how the bottom part of the order has struggled. This is a big at-bat in this frame for the Mustangs. Try to stretch the lead. Runner takes off to third, but Klein fouls it off. So Garcia will have to go back to second. Count still a ball and 2 strikes on Jacob Klein. Eleven hits now in the ball game for Billings. 1-2. Target outside from Davis. Smith looks back to second. The 1-2 pitch is a fastball that misses off the plate away. They even up the count at 2. That pitch also had some downward bite on it, moving away from the right-handed batting Klein. Looking above the ballpark, I saw a drone flying around. Wonder if that's our drone or somebody else's. The 2-2 is fouled off to the right. No mistake about it. That is surely what it was. I'm seeing it again. It's kind of right over the top of the diamond. Almost directly on top of Smith. Now it's kind of on the first base side. It's kind of working its way around. Count is even at 2 to Jacob Klein. Looking back to second where Garcia stands. Here comes Smith to the plate. This one in the dirt, backhanded by the catcher Davis. Count is now full with 1 out. So Klein, after falling behind, has worked it to a 3-2 with 1 out. Most likely we'll see the runners on the move in this spot with Wirtz at first and Garcia at second. 3-2 the delivery. Runners do not go, and Klein chases a high fastball for strike 3. Klein cannot be happy about that. That was a fastball that was well above the belt. Could have been ball 4. Instead, it's a big second out for Smith and the Paddleheads. As for some reason, Jim Riggleman came out to have a word with the umpires, maybe making a change here. And yes, that's exactly what's going to take place. We're going to see a pinch hitter in this spot. So Peterson will not be the batter in this spot with 2 outs and a couple of runners on base. Touched on the struggles of Peterson at the dish. And coming into this at-bat was 0 for 2 on the night. So we are going to see the Mustangs go to their bench. Look to make something happen here. All the runs so far have come with 2 outs. Smith looking to keep this at a 4-run deficit, top 7. The batter will be Jackson Raper. First pitch on the way is a strike at the knees. Raper, a guy who was very productive last season with the Voyagers, was particularly tough against the Paddleheads. Been off to a bit of a slow start swinging the bat this season, averaged just a couple of ticks over 240. The 0-1 pitch to Raper is past Davis, bouncing off to the right. Garcia stops at third, thought about taking the turn towards home as Davis struggled to find that one on the first base side of the field for a second. But Garcia stayed put. Still, both runners move up. Now to second and third with 2 gone. As a hit here for Raper could really extend the advantage. 1-1 with 2 outs. Now 2 runners in scoring position. Pitch from Smith on the way. This one a fastball that finds the inside for strike 2. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Raper didn't like the call. Kind of saw his head go up to the sky, so to speak. Or who knows, maybe he caught a glimpse of that drone that's been flying around. 2-2 is the count to Jackson Raper. Pitch from Smith. Swinging a ball just tapped foul. Just making contact was Raper. Count 2-2. They just made an announcement that it's legal to fly drones at the ballpark, so evidently that drone is not a paddlehead drone. There it goes, flying away out towards center field. Maybe they got the message. Time to bring it home. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. Raper goes down on strikes, and that is how this half inning comes to a close. Billings Mustangs held off the board. No 2-out damage in this half inning, and it's 7th inning stretch time. 6-2 advantage for the Mustangs over the Paddleheads. We'll see if they can fight back into this one after this.
Rocky Mountain Truck and Trailer Equipment is a local, family-owned business and proud sponsor of Missoula PaddleHeads baseball. Rocky Mountain Truck and Trailer carries a wide variety of truck and trailer accessories, gooseneck and dump equipment. Anytime you want to maximize your flatbed, have hauling needs, require specialized fabrication, or need trailer repair, get the job done right. For professional advice, go to the experts at Rocky Mountain Truck and Trailer Equipment, 5680 Expressway in Missoula, or check out their inventory at www.rmtte.com.
Calling all motivated leaders in the 406. Make an impact and become a positive role model to Montana youth. Join the team at Montana Youth Challenge Academy. Share in our mission of providing academic, professional, and life coping skills that students need for success. Full or part-time positions available. Enjoy competitive compensation and benefits. The day-to-day asks a lot, but it also has a lot to give. Apply online at statecareers.mt.gov.
Brought to you by Montana Youth Challenge Academy and this station.
I already know you're hungry. I don't even have to ask. I'm always hungry too. So then it should come as no surprise that each and every week on my daily radio show, Nuanez Now, we're giving away all the great things for you to eat. Whether it's gift cards to Taglieri Deli, wings from the Desperado Sports Tavern and Grill, or a sandwich and a six-pack from Warden's Market, tune in to Nuanez Now from 4 to 6 each weekday on 102.9 ESPN Radio for your chance to fill your belly.
This is live play-by-play on 102.9 ESPN Missoula, your home of the Missoula Paddleheads.
Correa will come out for a clean inning after starting in relief last frame. And he does so with his club leading by 4. 6-2 with the advantage for the Billings Mustangs over the Missoula Paddleheads here on ESPN Radio and GoPaddleheads.com. Glad to have you with us on a Wednesday. Jeff Safford keeping you company. First pitch to Brenton Davis is up high. Fastball missing there. Bottom third of the order coming up for Missoula. Davis, Perez, and Akins. 1-0 to Davis on its way. This one knee high, called a strike. Count now even at 1-1 strike to Brenton Davis, who's 0 for 2 to this point. Correa delivers one that's fouled straight back. Fly ball to right that was tracked down by Taylor. His last time up, that was with Davis up leading off the 5th inning. 2 runs on 7 hits to this point for the Paddleheads. 1-2 pitch is a low roller first base side that will stay foul on the first base side. Correa kind of walked that thing up the line, hoping it would kick to the right, and it did. Or in that instance, stay to the right. Davis hustled up the first base line, will now go back towards the batter's box. Next 2 nights, we'll see Thirsty Thursday and a Brewfest take center stage here at the Yard. Discounted Brews, and then over 15 breweries will be here on Friday. As Davis swings and misses at a fastball up above the belt, goes down swinging for the first out here of the 7th. Davis now 0 for 3 on the night. Henderson Perez will now be the batter. Perez hit a ball into foul ground that was caught by Tristan Peterson at first. Right behind the bag, as this one from Correa misses outside. 1 ball, no strike count. There is some action going in the Missoula bullpen down the left field line. Southpaw Quentin Longery is up as Perez hits one foul on the first base side. Got jammed, count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Can't touch on it enough. That event on Friday sure does sound like a unique and fun night. Kind of 2 events shoved into one as the 1-1 pitch misses inside. 2 ball, 1 strike. As I've come to know that, living now in Missoula for a year, moved here almost a year to the month, but come to find living in Missoula as Perez took down and in on the 2-1, count now 3-1 to Perez. City loves its beers and they love their Brew Fest type festival scenarios. 3-1 pitch is up high for ball 4. So Perez will take the walk, and the Paddleheads have something cooking in this half inning as Jared Akins will jump into the box. Akins has been on base both times he's come to the plate. But touching on the 2 runs scored by Missoula, can point to 2 different innings. The play at third made by Christian Pena, diving stop to get a double play when Missoula had the bases loaded in the 4th. Yes, 1 run came in that frame, but could have been a lot more. Then the last half inning, Keaton Greenwald with 1 out hit a pop-up, and for whatever reason, McLean O'Connor came off the third base bag and got doubled off as the 1-0 is grounded sharply, backhanded stop by Klein, flips underhand, and that's all they'll get as they get the out at second base with Barth covering. Was bobbled for a second by Klein, the second baseman, but a nice diving stop. Keep that one from going into the outfield by Jacob Klein to record out number 2. That will be a fielder's choice, 4-6, to record the second out of the inning as Jared Akins is kept off the board, or kept off the bases. But again, hits the ball hard, so Akins, a nice night offensively at the plate. Watley jumps in, trying to reach base for the first time. He's 0 for 3. First pitch to Watley is a fastball that misses the outside corner. Ball, no strikes the count. Longery looks like he is greased up and ready to go in the Paddleheads pen down the left field line. Sitting down now in the pen. The 1-0 pitch to Watley misses high, makes the count 2-0. Sure that Correa would like to see O'Connor's spot not come up in this inning with some men on base, with Missoula trailing by 4. But Watley ahead 2-0. Correa throws. This one a breaking ball that breaks low and in. 3 ball, no strike, the count to Watley. Akins, who bounced into the fielder's choice, is the runner at first, so does have good speed. 3-0 is the count to Kevin Watley. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th, the 3-0 pitch, fastball. Called strike. Right on the inside part of the plate. Looked like Watley was taken all the way. So the drone has flown away from the yard. So evidently somebody was having some fun with it. 3-1 pitch is cut on and missed. Pitch below the knees. Watley chases ball 4. 3-2 the count now. Wasn't sure because I know that few people that work in the Paddleheads front office do have drones. I've seen drone videos, but thought maybe it was a chance somebody in the front office was driving it around, trying to get some footage during the game. 3-2, runner takes off. This is a ground ball towards the middle, through the middle. On his horse is Akins, headed for third. He's going to make it easily. Stopping at first is Watley. Paddleheads now have a pair of runners on with 2 away. As McLean O'Connor will now be the batter. Here comes Jim Riggleman to the mound. Out to talk with Correa on the hill. There is some action going in that Billings bullpen down the right field line. So not sure if this will be a change in this spot or just a friendly conversation here in the bottom half of the 7th with 2 outs. So while the conference takes place, we'll go ahead and take a look at what else is rolling in the Pioneer League on a Wednesday night. As Riggleman comes off the mound, has not made a change, so it will be Correa for now facing McLean O'Connor. They're in the 9th inning over at Centene Stadium. And the Range Riders, in a big way, they're seeing the lead disappear in the 9th inning last night, making sure that's not going to happen tonight. Leading, I should say, 14-0. As O'Connor hits a sky-high fly ball left field towards the wall, and this baby is out of here. McLean O'Connor runs into one. A 2-run shot. A 3-run homer. I can't do math. And just like that, the Paddleheads have cut it to a 1-run game. What a return from the IL for McLean O'Connor. That was a sky-high fly ball to left. Took Piotnik back. Wasn't sure if it had enough. It did. A 3-run shot for O'Connor. Just like that, it's a 1-run contest. 6-5 score. What a big swing of the bat that was. So here comes Riggleman again. This will be it for Correa. Man, 3-hit night for O'Connor. He's got 3 legs of the cycle. A single, homer, and a double. What a story that is. But the ball has just been flying all over the yard all night, as there have now been 5 home runs hit in tonight's game. 3 from Billings and 2 for the Paddleheads. As the Mustangs go back to the bullpen. Still a lot of fun coming up. Looking ahead to next week as well, after the Paddleheads return from a quick 3-game road trip, it'll be a familiar foe, the Great Falls Voyagers, in here for a 3-game set. Looking ahead, that's Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. So more opportunities for you to come out and cheer on the Paddleheads next week as well. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, some midweek baseball. So come on out, get your tickets. Go paddleheads.com. But Correa gives up the home run ball in this inning, forcing the Mustangs to go to their bullpen. Coming on is Bo Bavon, pitcher who appeared in this ballpark in the opening series of the season. This is Bavon's 5th appearance overall. 6 Ks in 4 innings, 4.5 ERA, 4.5, I should clarify that. Mentioned, Bavon did appear in this ballpark against the Paddleheads, 2nd game of the year in which the Mustangs lost 11-9, pitched an inning in relief, gave up a run and a hit. He will face Cam Thompson. Lefty-lefty matchup. So that's the reason why Riggleman decides to go with Bavon here. But this game now a lot more interesting. Thanks to McLean O'Connor, a 3-run home run with 2 outs. More 2-out thunder. First pitch to O'Connor, a good slider on the inside corner for strike 1. That one had Thompson bailing out. Nasty movement from the left-hander. Bavon hanging that left arm down, kind of doing a Craig Kimbrell impression. The 0-1 pitch. Another breaking ball, bounced towards the middle, backhanded by Klein, throws off balance low, and Peterson kept his foot on the bag. That was close, but Peterson just was able to get that back foot down to record the final out. And that ends the 7th, but not before. The Paddleheads strike for 3. McLean O'Connor, a 3-run blast, makes it 6-5. Hold everything. Manager Michael Schlack is out on the field having a word with the umpires, and he's going to get them to come together to have a word about that last call. So we'll keep it here for now. The umpires are going to get together to talk about that last call at first. It was awfully close. Watching it, my gut reaction was that Peterson didn't have his back foot on the bag when he had caught the ball. And they're going to stick with the call on the field, which is Thompson being out at first. So the Mustangs do escape the 7th with no more runs coming across, but this will be a tight one, most likely coming down the stretch the final 2 innings. 6-5 score. We're back after this.
At Western Cider, it's all about great cider, good times, and community. As the official cider of the Paddleheads, Western Cider has a game day deal that can't be beat. Stop by the tasting room on any home game day. Show your game ticket, buy 1 cider and get 1 free. Kick back and enjoy a cheese or charcuterie plate with your cider. Then take a quick walk over the California Street Bridge to cheer on the Paddleheads. Western Cider, 501 North California Street, open 4 to 8 Monday through Thursday, and noon to 8 Friday through Sunday.
The Well Women's Business Center is looking to fill 2 AmeriCorps Business Service positions. The Well WBC wants to help build your professional portfolio while you give back to the state of Montana. Positions include Community Outreach Coordinator and Online Community Coordinator. Don't let a lack of professional experience of training hold you back from applying. The Well WBC is looking for recent graduates to help build professional experience with a priority on flexibility, working from home and support. Learn more online at wellwbc.org under careers.
What grows in the forest? Trees? Sure. Know what else grows in the forest? Our imagination, our sense of wonder, and our family bonds grow too. Because when we disconnect from this and connect with this, we reconnect with each other. The forest is closer than you think. Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the...
For Western Montana, KKVU HD3 Stevensville and 102.9 FM on K275BS Missoula. This is Missoula Paddlehead Baseball on 102.9 ESPN Radio.
Back to the action here. This puppy's a lot tighter now. A 6-5 game. Billings still clinging to the lead as we begin the 8th, and the swing at the first pitch. Jordan Barth hits it to Thompson, who throws across in time for out number 1. So hello and goodbye, Jordan Barth, as we begin the top of the 8th inning. Now 0 for 3 in the contest. Just looking at it, it's so interesting. The bottom 4 hitters in this order have been dead silent. Hardly a whimper from any of them. Is only looking at all the at-bats from the final 4 batters of the order. We've only seen a hit and a walk. That's it. So Zach Smith faces 1 batter, and looks like with Brian Pereira coming up, Michael Schlack is going to go to the bullpen. Interesting, saw that it was Longry warming for a large portion of the last half inning. So I assumed that's who we were going to see to come out of the bullpen, but that is not who is coming into the fray, it looks like. No, it isn't. As we are instead going to see Cody Thompson come out of the bullpen. So Thompson, a right-hander, is going to take over with 1 out recorded here in the 8th inning. Thompson has looked very good for manager Michael Schlack out of the bullpen. This is the 5th time he's taken the ball this season, 5 1/3 innings for the right-hander, 7 Ks on the mound, and a 1.69 ERA. And if you're Missoula, touched on how the bullpen was an adventure for Billings in the last series, with it just being a 1-run lead for the Mustangs at this point, final 2 innings of play. I have to think that the Paddleheads feel okay about this scenario. What a big swing of the bat in the last half inning for McLean O'Connor. 2 outs, a towering high fly ball into straightaway left field. Seemingly everybody was watching it for an eternity. Will it clear the wall? Will it make it? Piotnik even leapt up to make it interesting, but he couldn't come up with it. What is it with borderline home run balls tonight? We saw it earlier in the game as well with the Mustangs batting, with the home run from Klein in the 3rd. Sit to left center. Greenwald leapt up in left center, and it looked like everyone on the field initially thought that Greenwald came up with it. And I swear that I thought that I saw Nick Jenke, the third base umpire, initially make an out call. But after that initial thought of Greenwald making the catch, was deemed that he did not make the play. So a home run into left center. But Cody Thompson coming in, trying to keep this a 1-run game. And now Brian Pereira will be the batter. When I saw Pereira coming up and Schlack going out to the mound, I'm thinking, okay, now they're going to Longry with Pereira being a left-handed batter. That's not the case. First pitch on the way is a high pop-up into foul ground. Thompson, left side, near the bullpen area, reaches up and makes the catch for the 2nd out. Well, for one batter at least, the choice to go to the pen here works out. As Thompson gets 1 out on 1 pitch. Batter will now be Christian Pena. There have been a grand total of 2 pitches thrown in this inning. 1 thrown by Zach Smith, 1 from Cody Thompson. They have netted 2 outs. Here's Christian Pena. First pitch is down below the knees. A ball, no strikes. One thing to remind you of in a situation like this, with it being a close game, remember there is no extra frames in the Pioneer. If it is tied after 9 innings, we go to what I call dinger time. 1-0 pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Officially, it's known as the knockout, but we're calling it dinger time here on ESPN Radio. While dinger time plays out, is that 2 batters from each club will get 2 minutes to hit as many home runs as they can. 1-1 pitch is a foul off to the right. So they changed the format from last year, where in the knockout rounds you saw 2 batters get 10 pitches or 5 swings, whichever one came first, where now they're just giving them 2 minutes, take as many hacks as you can. I think that's a better way to do it, quite honestly. Makes it a little bit cleaner. Easier to follow. The 1-2 pitch is a line drive, base hit into left center field. Off the bat of Christian Pena. Second hit of the night for Pena. He's the only guy in the bottom part of the order doing anything for Billings. And he keeps this inning alive. And stepping into the box now will be Cruz Taylor in the top of the order. But Pena now 2 for 4, single in his last 2 ABs. Cruz Taylor, pretty solid night swinging the bat. 2 for 4 coming into this one. Home run he had in the second really was an impressive swing. A shot into right center field, taking on the deepest part of the yard, just to the right of the ace sign, kind of right between the ace and the Missoulian sign in right center. First pitch, fastball, misses outside from Thompson. Two other games in the Pioneer in the North, both in the books, both lopsided games. The Chuckers absolutely demolishing the Vibes, 21-6. 1-0 pitch, misses outside to Taylor to make the count 2-0. And speaking of demolition, Range Riders taking out their frustrations on the Voyagers. Been a long 6-game stretch, losing all 6. But not tonight. 14-0 was the final up on the high line. 2-0 pitch, swung on and missed. Makes the count 2-1. Voyagers were trailing in the 9th inning last night as well, but were able to walk it off after the Range Riders took the lead in the top of the 8th at 9-8, or 8-7 rather, only to watch the Voyagers score 2 in the 9th. Second walk-off win for Great Falls this year. 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss at a breaking ball down below the knees. But the Range Riders, after 2 losses, do get a little bit of revenge with a 14-0 win tonight. Another final in the books. The Rockies top Boise. Close game, 9-8 final tally. The Hawks continue to struggle. Southern Division champions from a season ago. 2-2 pitch is outside, fills up the count to Taylor. Mitch Piotnik would swing it next if Cruz Taylor can find a way aboard. 6 runs on 12 hits for Billings, 5 runs on 9 hits for Missoula. Count is full with 2 outs and a man on at first. It's Pena. Gatewood not on the bag, playing behind him, guarding the first base line. Pena will be on the move on this 3-2. There he goes. This one taken low for ball 4. Didn't miss by much, but Taylor takes the walk. That indeed does put 2 runners on with 2 out. Mustangs, last time around the board was the 5th. They brought 3 runs home, thanks to a 3-run shot from Jacob Klein, his second of the game. Since then, the Mustangs have not scored. Stand here with 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Mitch Piotnik started the game with a double, but has struck out his last 3 times. First pitch swung on and missed. That one down below the knees. Piotnik has gotten into a bad habit of chasing fastballs up above the belts his last couple of at-bats. That time, chases a breaking ball down below the knees. So I guess it doesn't matter what's going up. He's swinging at everything. 0-1. Pitch to Piotnik is fouled off to the left. Count quickly, 0-2. And now, this puts the Paddleheads and Thompson squarely in the driver's seat of what they want to do in this situation. If I'm Thompson, I'm thinking a fastball up above the belt. Up and in. See if Piotnik will go after it. Open stance from the left. Piotnik waits. The pitch on its way. It's a fastball, grounded, foul. First base side. Was a fastball. They go to the outside. I was thinking up and in. Thompson went to the outside part of the plate. It was a bit elevated, so I had that part of it right. Still has the whole playbook available to him. Mustangs do have speed at second with Pena there. Also good speed at first with Taylor. 0-2 in a 6-5 game in the top of the 8th. Big pitch from Thompson coming. Target is low in it. The 0-2 on its way. This one grounded to Gatewood at first, bobbles it a bit. He flips underhand to Thompson, and they got him. Was a bit interesting with Gatewood at first, but he was able to regather after bobbling it for a second, and the Paddleheads keep the Mustangs off the board. Stays to a one-run game, headed to the bottom of the 8th, 6-5 the score.
Missoula Bone & Joint has been providing quality orthopedic care for over 60 years. We offer a one-stop option on Mullen Road, which includes an orthopedic urgent care walk-in clinic, a state-of-the-art outpatient surgery center, MRI, digital x-ray, and physical therapy services. Our experienced team of orthopedic surgeons have an excellent reputation for providing successful outcomes and compassionate care. Missoula Bone & Joint, quality care from people who care.
Hey, son, how are you feeling?
I'm fine, Pop.
What's on your mind?
I can't explain it. Navigating without a compass, eyes waiting, started to wonder. Metamorphosis, the loss of who you thought you was.
When your kid can't find the language, help them find the lyrics. Listen to the Sound It Out album and get tips and tools to start a conversation at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
Last week on the ESPN Roundtable, a fun-filled NFL conversation between Colter Nuanez and Regime Seabrook.
Who are your number one overall pick candidates for fantasy football?
I'll be honest, I usually go running backs first because there aren't that many that are going to be that good, that have the duality of running and being a good pass catcher at the same time. Guys like him, the Austin Ecklers of the world, you got to snatch them early.
Tune in to the ESPN Roundtable every Wednesday in the 5 o'clock hour on Nuanez Now. Brought to you by Paradise Falls.
Back to live local play-by-play on 102.9 ESPN Missoula.
Lamar Sparks begins what is the bottom of the 8th inning in the box. The first pitch on the way is a breaking ball from Bovan that hangs up for ball 1. As we return here in a one-run game, 6-5 is the score. Paddleheads trail, but Sparks in the box. First pitch, or the 1-0 pitch, misses up high. 2 in a row, way out of the zone from Bovan. Sparks staying hot at the plate. He's 2 for 3, 2 singles in his last 2 at-bats. Third multi-hit game in a row for Sparks. The 2-0 delivery, breaking ball this time, finds the zone. Again, kind of attacking that high part of the zone, not where you expect to see a breaking ball come in. The Sparks let it go by for a strike. 2-1. Sparks, Gator, and Greenwald. 4-5-6 coming up. 2-1. This one grounded foul. Well, sounds like a name of a band. You got Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. You got Sparks, Gator, and Greenwald. Something about that kind of works. Two-two pitch. This one swung through and missed. Pereira has to throw the first to complete the strikeout and does successfully to record out number 1. That will leave it to Nick Gatewood with the bases empty and 1 out. Facing Bovan, Gatewood has had to deal with left-handed pitching quite a bit so far tonight. And he'll have to deal with a left-handed pitcher on the mound once again with 1 out and the bases empty. It's been a quiet night offensively for Gatewood, 0 for 3. First pitch to Gatewood, swung through and missed. A breaking ball down below the knees. 0-1 is the count to Nick Gatewood. 0 for 3, struck out in his last at-bat. Gatewood has also bounced into a double play and flew out to Taylor and right. 0-1 is the count. Just trying to give the Paddleheads some life here in this half inning. The 0-1 delivery is a slider, line back up the middle. Base hit for Gatewood. That slider from Bovan hung up there, and Gatewood smacked it right back where it came from. Single for Gatewood. Good time for him to pick up his first hit of the night, and looks like we're going to see a pinch runner. Looks like Hannah is going to pinch run for Nick Gatewood at first. So Michael Schlack most likely using the designated pinch run scenario right here. Again, via Pioneer League rules, you're allowed to call a pinch runner on once during the game, and he is allowed to go back out on the field defensively the next half inning. So indeed, that is what we are going to see. The rookie, Jaden Hanna, will be running at first base. Very speedy player on the bases. As Keaton Greenwald will now be the batter, the man on representing the lead run in the box. They're going to throw to first to check on Hanna right out of bed, not going anywhere. Not even a tag laid down by Peterson at first. And with Bovan being a lefty on the mound, always is a little bit more dangerous to deal with as a base runner. First pitch to Greenwald comes, and it is down below the knees. 1 ball, no strike count. There's some action going in the Billings bullpen. In a one-run game, there's nothing happening the other side for Missoula. So looks like the next half inning, we will see Thompson go back out there. A ball, no strikes to count to Greenwald. Throw over to first, and Hanna, almost gets picked off. There's an example of why it's hard to run off of a left-handed pitcher looking right at first base. So he can kind of fling that arm out there without giving up, turning around like the righty has to turn his back. 1-0, slider, got it, strike 1. On the inside, evens up the count. Nice tight spin on that breaking ball from Bovan. At the knees on the inside part of the plate. That's where you want to live with a slider, especially to a right-handed batter. 1-1 pitch on the way outside with what looks like a fastball with some cut moving away from Greenwald. 2 ball, 1 strike count to Keaton Greenwald. Greenwald, last time he was at the plate was that bizarre instance in the 6th inning. 2-1 pitch is a ball slowly grounded left side coming in as Pena at third. He throws across the diamond and does just get Greenwald for the second out. Advancing to second on the play is Hanna, the pinch runner. So the tying run is in scoring position with 2 outs. And that's going to leave it up to the rookie, Brenton Davis, to try to tie this game up here in the bottom of the 8th inning. So Pena makes an important play on that slow roller on the left side, being able to throw out Greenwald. So this now puts all the pressure on the rookie, Brenton Davis. Plenty of speed on the bags. Who will hold up here? Bovan throws. Breaking ball. Strike on the right down the middle. About to say what part of the plate it was on. Realized that thing was just right down the pipe. 0-1. After hanging a slider to Gatewood has found the field for that pitch now. The 0-1. Another breaking ball. Misses high. Evens up the count at a ball and a strike. Mustangs clinging to a 1-run advantage. Paddleheads now in double digits hit-wise with 10. Post 12 for Billings. Just 1 error in the ball game was committed by the Paddleheads. The 1-1 pitch is up high to Davis. Make the count 2-1. It will be interesting. Remember, the designated pinch hitter is also available if the Paddleheads want to try to go to their bench. Few guys available to swing it. 2-1 offering is a sharp hit ground ball. Pass Klein into right center field. Here comes Hanna. The throw will not come in, and this game is tied. Brenton Davis, the rookie, ties the game with 2 outs, and it's 6-6. What a big swing from the rookie Brenton Davis. His first RBI in his career. As Henderson Perez will now step in, and here comes Jim Riggleman. Wow, what a big swing that is in this game. And what a ball game we've had thus to this point. as the Mustangs will once again go to the bullpen. And that means it's time for, oh no. Oh, they're messing with me, putting the ridiculous movie scene up on the screen in left center field. They've done it once before. If you know the scene, it's Terry Crews in White Chicks. That's all I have to say. About half the audience is probably dying laughing, and the other part of the audience that doesn't know movies probably thinking, what in the world is Jeff talking about? So we won't dwell on it too much. It's just a ridiculous scene from a ridiculous movie. But I digress. We got some baseball to talk about as the Mustangs have seen the Paddleheads level things up in this half inning. The Mustangs have led all the way since the first inning, taking a 1-0 lead. Paddleheads cut the lead back to 1 a few times. But now it'll be up to Al Pesto. Try to shut this inning down. A very hard throwing right-hander for the Billings Mustangs, who has faced Missoula before. Pesto actually pitched on opening night. Opposite against the Paddleheads, he pitched an inning, gave up 2 runs on 2 hits. Pesto, overall, a 4.50 ERA. Since that outing against Missoula, has had 3 other scoreless outings. Scoreless inning against the Owls, and then 2 scoreless frames in that 6-game slate opposite the Glacier Range Riders. So we keep on rolling along on a Wednesday night here in Missoula. It's been a tight ball game. But again, what a huge swing in this game from Brenton Davis. It's a sharp ground ball towards the middle. Another one of those instances where it seemed like that baseball was bounding towards the middle of the infield for seemingly an eternity. Klein did all he did at second, made a dive and just snuck under his glove as the first pitch to Perez misses down low for ball 1. And again, Pesto, he throws extremely hard from the right side. Fastball with a bunch of sink as well. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. That one just 4-seam right to the target, seemingly throwing it right through Pereira, his catcher, and Perez couldn't catch up with it. Count even at 1. And that thing's got some heat. Pesto sets at the chest, the 1-1, another 4-seam, swing and a miss. Just throwing fire, and Perez cannot catch up with it, at least this last 2 pitches. Davis still on at first with 2 outs. Game is tied here in the bottom of the 8th. Pesto throws. Perez able to get the bat on that fastball, and it ricochets from being out of play onto the field. I think it hit one of the light fixtures. Almost must have been what it was, as it sounded like a hollow doing. Almost reminded me of the sound of the double doink. That's a football reference, of course. 1-2 pitch is outside, evens up the count. That kind of hollow sound of a football going off of a goalpost. It's like a big, almost sounds like a bong going off. 2-2 the count with 2 outs. Pitch from Pesto is low and outside. Makes the count 3-2. And with me being a Green Bay Packers fan, of course, the double doink was something I very much enjoyed. That involved a playoff game featuring the Chicago Bears. Payoff pitch to Perez is a ground ball towards the middle and through the middle. That's a base hit. Headed for third is Davis. They're going to stop him there, but Perez keeps the rally alive. Base hit through the middle. Put the lead run at third base for Jared Akins. Now a big swing here with 2 outs could give the Paddleheads the lead for the first time tonight. What a wild game. Missoula has been on the board 4 straight in the last 2 innings. And potentially with a big swing from Aikens could take their first lead. Aikens has swung it well. He's 2 for 3. Pesto trying to hold the line. He delivers, and Aikens swings and fouls one off. Believe he got a piece of that. Was a pitch on the outside that dropped down straight out of the glove of Pereira. So I would assume that Aikens made contact. I wouldn't think that it would pop out of the glove. But Aikens is a powerful hitter. This is power versus power. 0-1, swing and a miss. Fastball. Knee high, right down the middle. No question about what was coming, and Pesto just threw it right by him. So Aikens will now have to battle in an 0-2 count with runners on at the corners. 1 run in. Aikens trying to give the Paddleheads the lead. Count 0-2, going to be tough. The pitch from Pesto is grounded. Backhanded by Peterson. Nice stop. He'll take it to the bag himself for out number 3. Sharp hit ground ball, but Peterson keeps the ball from going down the line, and this game remains tied, headed to the top of the 9th inning. But Bretton Davis, a big swing with 2 outs, ties it. An RBI single up the middle, and we're headed to the 9th in a tie ball game. Stick around on 102.9 ESPN and GoPaddleheads.com.
Rocky Mountain Truck and Trailer.
Excuse me, the home run from O'Connor came in the 7th inning with the game-tying RBI base hit coming in the 8th. Will be a good spot in the order for Billings to get something going. Jalen Garcia will lead it off. First pitch of the 9th is a high fly ball off the end of the bat. Streaking in is Greenwald. He's underneath it, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Off the bat, the way I watched Greenwald react, came screaming in. I was thinking maybe it would fall in a little bloop into center, but it hung up there enough for Greenwald to track it down for the first out of the 9th. So Garcia is sent away on the first pitch of the ninth. That will bring Gabe Wirtz into the box. Open stance from the right, the pitch. Fastball, strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count. Pitch from Thompson, 0-1, is another strike. Poured in with a breaking ball to make the count 0-2. Touched on in the early parts of the broadcast. It'd be interesting to see where Missoula goes in the late innings if it went to be a tight game with no Jason Newman. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Buenos dias, buenos tardes, y buenos noches, Mr. Wirtz. 2 down in the ninth on a 3-pitch strikeout from Thompson. Here comes Jacob Klein. And of course, the ninth inning will come down to Klein. And if I were the Paddleheads, I'd be thinking about putting 4 fingers up. Of course, they're not going to do that, but I'm sure the thought would come through your mind with how Klein has swung the bat. 2 outs, base is empty. First pitch, taken, strike on the outside part of the plate. Count is 0-1. Thompson's rolling. 5 pitches, 5 strikes. 0-1 with 2 outs. Tie game in the top of the ninth. 0-1 delivery. Fastball misses up high. Evens up the count at 1. Klein already with 2 homers. He's 3 for 4. Recorded an RBI in each at-bat he's had. 1-1 with 2 outs. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Pitch on the outer half. Count now 1-2 strikes. Klein looking for a second consecutive strikeout, or Thompson rather, to strike out Klein. Here comes the cowbell. 1-2. The pitch. Outside. Makes the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Trying to get Klein to chase one off the outside portion. That fastball from Thompson had some wicked movement. Low and breaking off the plate. 2-2. Here it comes. Off the plate again to make it full at 3-2. That one easier to let go by. It started more on that outside line. Tristan Peterson would be next in this half inning. He was pinch hit for earlier, but remember, it was a designated pinch hit scenario. The 3-2 is a line drive base hit into left center field. That's cut off by Sparks before it gets into the gap. Jacob Klein, his 4th hit of the night. It's now 4 for 5. Paddleheads just fortunate that Klein came up with 2 outs and the base is empty. But Billings does have the lead run on here in the top of the ninth. Batter will now be Tristan Peterson. Peterson, remember, he was pinch hit for Jackson Raper in this spot in the 7th, but it was a designated pinch hit scenario as Peterson takes a high fastball for ball 1. We've touched on the struggles of Peterson. He has reached once in the game, did so in the first, but 0 for 2. Overall in the game and against the Paddleheads this year. 1-0, runner takes off. Taken for a strike. Throw down to second base is not in time. O'Connor thought it was out number 3. Got a tag down on the foot of Klein. Just did beat it out. Pretty close play at second. And I believe the pitch was called a ball at the plate as well. Yes, it was. Count now 2-0 to Tristan Peterson. Touched on the Mustangs. Not running very often. Doing so here in the 9th with a man on at first, trying to get something going. So Peterson in the driver's seat in this at-bat now. First base is open if Thompson wants to think about using that. 6-6 tie in the 9th inning. Thompson throws the 2-0. This one finds the zone on the outside part of the plate. 2-ball, 1-strike count. In Peterson's last at bat, he struck out looking. Also flew out to Sparks tonight, along with the walk in the first. The 2-1 delivery is taken below the knees for ball 3. So now Peterson in a 3-1 count. With first base open, this allows Peterson to kind of sit on one pitch in one location. He doesn't get it, let it go by. The pitch, 3-1, is hit high and foul off to the right. And isn't it fitting that in a tie game in the top of the 9th inning, that this frame will come down to a 3-2 pitch with 2 outs? The Mustangs have had so much success in this game with 2 outs. Will they find another swing in the 9th inning? Or will Thompson stand tall? The payoff is on its way. It's off the outside for ball 4. That'll put runners on at first and second. And considering how much Peterson was struggling at the plate, I'm sure that was not what Thompson was looking for there. Make him beat you. Michael Schlack coming out to the mound. I didn't see anybody warming down there. So I think this is just Schlack coming out for a little powwow. Whole infield is going to join the party. The batter now will be Jordan Barth. Barth, who to this point has been quiet in tonight's ball game. But if this game is any indication, we could be in for a wild series here at Allegiance Field at Ogren Park. If you want to come out and check it out, the next 2 will be sure fun nights to do it. Sounds like the weather's going to be nice, close to 80 degrees, scheduled or slated for a high tomorrow. Thirsty Thursday on tap. $3 domestic drafts, $4 craft brews. Then the Brew Fest Friday night. 15 breweries here, 30 beers. Come on out and check out some baseball. Go paddleheads.com. Jordan Barth into the box now. Pitch from Thompson is a strike at the knees to start off this at-bat, 0-1. That fastball from Thompson has a ton of movement. Moving laterally and down as well. 0-1. Pitch to Barth is a line drive caught by Thompson at second base. Or O'Connor, rather, makes the catch. Taking a hit away from Barth and keeping this game tied. Going to the bottom of the 9th inning. Vital stop by O'Connor, and this game remains at 6-6. Will the Paddleheads come through in the bottom of the 9th? Or is it dinger time? We'll find out after this.
Being in the Army National Guard is about more than serving your country. It's about being there for your community.
He'll take it. Watley, O'Connor, and Thompson. 1-0 pitch to Watley is a ball hit high and deep to right. Look out, this baby is gone. Kevin Watley sends it over the wall and right, and we are going home. A laser home run to right center field, and the Paddleheads erase a 4-run deficit to take it 7-6. How about that? What a shot from Watley, and the Paddleheads win game 1 on a walk-off solo homer from Kevin Watley. Holy cow. There was no doubt about that one. That thing was crushed, and Watley gets stormed by all of his teammates. What a time to hit your first homer of the season. Kevin Watley unloads on the second pitch of that at-bat and does not miss it. And for the first time this year, he gets the paddle in the hat. Woof. What a ball game. The Paddleheads find a way to come out winners. Trailed 6-2, outscored the Mustangs 5-0 the rest of the way, and they come away with a 7-6 win, and that 7-game winning streak of the Mustangs is history. The Paddleheads improved to 7-6 thanks to Kevin Watley. And at least for one night, it's time to celebrate. We'll come back to wrap up the ball game right after this.
Coulter's got beef. Let's disqualify every single thing that happened to Barry Bonds from 2000 through 2007 when he retired. He still hit over 400 home runs. He still won multiple MVPs. He still hit 40-plus home runs 5 times before he ever started taking steroids. If you want to eliminate every single thing that you possibly can after he started taking steroids, that's fine. He's still